Hello and welcome to the 26th edition of Quant Gang with Karim, the HEX Dream Account Man, Access Alive, WhalesOnly, and Future Us, and myself, Maddie ALLin. And we're here to talk about HEX and Pulse, to reveal our Pulse strategies, and to tell you that over $500 million has been sacrificed in the biggest airdrop in history.
Yep.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Oh man, we're going to be in for a treat today. Very, very excited. Very excited. Maddie, I think what we should do too also a little bit is just do the general update, Bitcoin, all that stuff, premium. And then once we get out of the way, then we can just dive into Pulse, because this is going to be a 4-hour discussion. So
yeah,
and housekeeping stuff, and then, get everybody updated on what's going on. I mean, everything that we've been saying, we just keep happening, but, just in case.
And I know all 3,000 people who watched the show took our entertainment advice, which is not financial advice, and ended up selling the top in Bitcoin. And so it's really just for bragging rights. And I told you so, as I guess that we're going to keep covering the premium, because you and Whales were the two that really identified that trend before it happened. And everybody's been listening to Richard all along, and so there are so many smart people in this community. And I definitely wanted to shout out to all the other streamers that have been going around the clock. I know the Discourse Syndicate and Motley the Investor, and I've been watching all the streams, and life's been happening, and I've really enjoyed it. And I think that all the people that we see, when people go to hexstreamers.com, then you can see all the different streamers. That's not a website I'm associated with, but it is something that I use every day to check and see who's live at any given moment. Nice. Shout out to everybody in HEX who's been streaming and educating others and donating your time and helping everybody understand the greatest financial product in the world.
Heck yeah.
Yo.
Yeah, Maddie, I think we're hitting all-time highs on the number of stakers right now. Like every time I refresh, it feels like we're up a few hundred stakers.
It's growing exponentially.
Richard just sent out on Telegram that he's been having about 1,000 people follow him every day.
Yep.
New on Twitter, and so that's something that hasn't happened before as well.
Been tracking that, it's cool, and then also on the YouTube as well, which is pretty cool. Maddie, you want to hit the intro and then we roll, or?
Let's do it. Yeah.
All right. I'm ready.
Welcome to Quant Gang, everybody. And WhalesOnly and Access Alive have a brand new chart to introduce to the world for the first time today, I hear.
Heck yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yes, this is definitely true. Whales,
wow.
I'm privy to a new chart that we've been working on, and it's actually kind of relevant with what's going on with all the emergency end stakes that have been going on. So
wonderful.
We got to wait for him to get back to show it, though. I don't have it, so it's in his possession.
That's awesome. But yeah, I know what you're talking about, which is going to be pretty awesome. Again, you guys taking the extra time, even in this busy time, to create those numbers, which is pretty awesome. So I'm looking forward to that. Maddie, I'm going to share my screen.
Sure, and let's say hi to everybody in the chat here. Finbear, Piston Broke, Mick, Melftoni.
Bang, bang.
Look at all these familiar names. Tripod. Everybody's saying hi to each other. What's good?
Oh, man, thanks for the kind words. Yeah, Hexicans, you guys are legends, too. Let's get it. Let's get it. So right here, quick update, guys. We're gonna do some housekeeping, right? Updating on the Bitcoin premium, just like we talked about last week. We literally said you're gonna be buying Bitcoin at less than 30K, right? And lo and behold, what happened? Boom, thing just. And there's still a lot of those Bitcoins from Grayscale that are still flowing. So there's gonna be a lot of that still going on. So we gotta watch out to see what's going on.
Now, can you hit share screen there, Kareem?
Oh yeah, I just
there
did.
it is. Perfect.
Let me know when you can see my screen.
Got it.
All right, thank you very much. So first thing first, right? It's still negative, pitiful, sad, because the worst part is, let me make it a little bit bigger here. Let me open this guy right here. What's very dangerous is, this is again referring to what Richard was talking about. Usually in a bear market, right, you're supposed to see what a bear flag is, right? And a bear flag is the opposite of a bull flag, right? This is a bull flag, up, 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 down, 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 diagonal, and then up, up, up. But we're not even getting the bear flag. And the reason to that is because this is the waterfall type, which means it accelerates. It goes like this, and it's going to arc, and it's going to just dump. Because as it goes below 29K now today, the premium is not closing. So very important order of business here. Quick math. Usually, example here, when the premium was first savage, negative 16%, Bitcoin dumped a lot, and then the premium started to close, rightfully so, because that's what the limit orders were. Basically saying we want to buy at a negative 16%, and as we come in to buy it, the premium close. But then what's happening over here is actually worse, because it's dumping, but the premium is also accelerating to the downside, which means it's just saying there is only a few people that wanted a price over here, then a few people that's going to, it's like a cascade limit orders, you know what I mean? And when Wells going to be here, Axis can talk about it a little bit.
Yeah. Look who we have here, WhalesOnly.
What up, player?
Chilling. How you guys doing? Sorry for being late. Had to get a little bit of food real quick.
No worries. We're going to be here for 5 hours, so get that sandwich. So yeah, as I was saying here, what's dangerous is that as the price is dumping, like perfect example here, it was dumping, premium close. But this one is different. It's dumping and premiums gets worse. That means accelerating to the downside. Imagine, big institution market makers, like I teach you guys, they put limit orders, limit order gets filled, but they're just doing a little bit. And then they're basically dollar cost averaging to the downside. They want more, because usually when the price goes down, the premium is supposed to close, but it's getting worse and worse, even though the price is going down. So last week we told you when we were around, 30, 31, 32,000 with a negative 12, 15% premium, you're looking at, again, 29.5K Bitcoin. Now, guess what? We hit target, right? It went over to 29.6, now it's about 29, whatever, and it's still negative 14%. But you got to understand, now it's negative 14% from the 29.8, which then mean quick math, right? Let's say I'm just rounding it up, 29K close to 30K, 10% negative of that, it's literally $3,000 less, which is 26,000. And because it's 14% down, that means correspond perfectly with the next level of support, which is right around that 26K, 25K. So going back to the chart, pull this up here. This is literally where Bitcoin is. So it's already telling you that as we speak through Grayscale, there is people that are already buying Bitcoin right around here. 26K.
Thank you to Cash Plus for the $10 super chat. And then Karim, somebody else, Children of the Grave, of course, is saying that your tweet yesterday got him to FOMO sacrifice at 16 cents, right?
My man, we're gonna talk about that. I almost slapped one of my friends virtually to my phone. I was like, "You better sacrifice this now. I'm gonna drive to your house." but it's like, well, we're gonna talk about that. This is gonna be the next topic. But just for the housekeeping, yeah. And thanks for saying that. Appreciate. This channel here that I changed the color on. Look at this. Oh man, it's sad. Everything points to the downside. But this is a channel that I just drew just for fun. But I already told you guys, the moment we go above the red zone, forget about it. And it's doing the cascade, right? And the DMI is already telling you it's showtime. It's not even trying to cross. It already separate, and now it's starting to accelerate. So it's just going to be more flowing because, again, the big money is in the Grayscale premium. And big money right now is, again, buying the cheap version at 26K. And because as they buy the cheap version, you will think the premium will close. but the demand, keyword, quick math, the demand is not, I repeat, is not outpacing the supply. Meaning, right, 40, 20,000, 30,000 Bitcoin, that's no joke. So demand might be there, but not as much. Therefore, the premium is not closing. And this is what I'm saying. The big institutions are basically doing limit orders, pushing it to the downside, kind of like I buy a little bit over here, I buy a little bit over here, I buy a bit over here, and just let it slow death. It's an accumulation phase, but it's in a waterfall pattern. And you can see that from the premium because it's not closing. You see, this was a serious buy because the premium really closed. We stayed there. People were buying it all the way to almost 49,000 because he went all the way to -3. That was very close. But here, it's a different story. Okay, moving on to the other side of the world, right? In Canada, same shit. It's still negative. A little bit less than the US, but still same thing you see. It's accelerating to the downside. It went from -6 to -8. So even over there, once again, the demand is now outpacing, right, what's coming from the supply. Therefore, if there's more supply of Bitcoin in the market and less demand, well, price is going to go down. Same thing when you go to see for Ethereum real quick, on their fund data. And Ethereum, obviously, due to reflexivity, which we talk about all the time, and people start to learn about that, Ethereum premium that used to be very close to zero is now, for the first time, it's starting to go negative in a significant way. It used to chill around, see -2, -3, but now it's starting to accelerate also. It's bad, -8. -9, and the price is at $1,700, which means almost 10%, which means, like we've been talking about, people are starting to buy, Ethereum. Let me go back here, switch it up. Where is it? ETH. I mean, you can't make this shit up. I literally even draw a line just to show you what the target is, just for fun. Just look at the trend line. It's going to keep falling. There's a high probability it's going to keep falling all the way to touch that line. Right around 1,600. And if I zoom back to the daily, you get to see, again, it's breaking this support here. You add the -10%, it's gonna go here. So when you look at the trend line, you're looking at, again, $1,400 Ethereum. That's the next target. The worst enemy, guys, I hate to break it to you. I know some of you guys love Ether, but DMI already made his choice, right? Let me go back to the weekly. The same thing we've been talking about for weeks that happened to Bitcoin. It's a wrap. It's official. There's no ifs about it. That shit crossed. It's red. It's not a fake out. This was the fake out. Remember? That was the opium, the leftover. Oh, it's going to go back up. Yeah, no. It crossed. And when that happens, we're here. Okay? That means, again, this is just math. This is quant game. That means when it crosses, it goes up a little bit more. It goes to the next support. Where is it? Green line. Where is the green line? Can't make this shit up. Right now, 1,400. Actually, let me directly get, 1,409. You get to see it literally on this sign over here. When I put the cursor, the green line right now, 1,400. So that tells you possibly within a week, less than a week, maybe, who knows? Ethereum is most likely to go touch $1,400 because it's incongruence. The grayscale premium is almost -10%. So at 1771, right, you're minus 10%. That's $1,700 right there. You're right on the, 1,500 and change range. And then with a little acceleration to the downside, because why not? Because that's what waterfall is going to do. Bitcoin is definitely going to help as you continue to push to the downside. It's going to push Ethereum to the downside. Bitcoin already crossed the green line. So it's doing this thing over here. And it's going to go look for the next support. And if it goes from 29.6 to like 26,000, that's a lot. That's going to hit Ethereum hard. So you got to prepare yourself for that because, again, DMI is pointing up. It's saying, I'm not done. So
Here we've got a comment from Yozo. Thanks for commenting. Love your show. Best on YouTube. Watched you since February, March. So I was saved before the bear market. And a big thank you for free advice and knowledge. Bed soon. It's morning here. Bless you all.
Bless you, brother. Thanks for the kind words.
Thank you, sir.
We'll do this for you.
Thank you
And
to Pulse Lord for the $10 super chat. If you love BTC, let it go. A quote from Richard Hart.
If
yeah,
it comes back,
That's-
it was yours. If it doesn't, it never was.
you will love it
That's
even more
right.
at a lower price. You will love it even more. So don't worry about that. And
And thank you to
then,
Cash Plus for the other $10 super chat. Shouting out to WhalesOnly, of course.
Nice. And then the last but not least, my favorite, right? Joke but no joke. Big D is working overtime right now, guys. It's bad. Like it's pushing. It's no joke. Again, DMI cross. This is bullish for the dollar, which means it's bad for crypto. That means the dollar is strengthening. And it's no joke. And first of all, let me go back to the daily just to show you what's going on. Look at that. Textbook, bull flag, chilling, Keltner channel, on its way. The moment it crossed red, forget about it. Perfect double bottom. And the best part is, for all of you chartists out there, this is not a typical double bottom because the second bottom is higher than the first bottom, which is actually a bullish signal. And it's doing the fractal again perfectly, like textbook. Going back to the weekly, getting outside this zone is nasty. It's literally here, is here. Can't make this shit up. And the moment it goes, it accelerates, it goes red and above, severe pressure to not just Bitcoin, but the market, because dollar strengthened. Let's do a little quick recap. Dollar strengthened because institution and big money know something that you don't know, but we can spot them from the chart, because the only reason why you will go dollar is because you're thinking deflation is coming. That's why we talked about last week about the Wells Fargo, all the other stuff shutting down, this and that. And we told you for months and months and months and months, they're going to shut it down during the summertime. You're out there on the beach, you don't know what's going on. That's when they're going to crash it. And then by September, when the whole thing is down, they're going to be like, oh my God, what's going on? It's harvesting season, because, Dow Jones is at all-time high. So this is going to continue to push because it clearly broke out. It's going to go minimum touch red, doing the fractal that's over here, which is add more pressure to, again, crypto. So everything we've been talking about is literally working in congruence of all the factors. So that was just the quick kind of housekeeping. I know some of you guys now pros watch us every week. You've been watching those as well, so you know what's going on. Axis, Wells, any comments?
Yeah, I mean, the market looks like it's doing exactly what it's pretty much in your face that it wants to break down. It feels a lot like the 6K breakdown from 2018. It just seems like this is just people rolling away their leverage positions, and this is slowly just going to chug down for lower price action to try to get enough volatility in the market to kind of swing ourselves higher and try to find something to stand on. That's kind of my little philosophical way of looking at it. But yeah, I mean, more or less, you're just kind of letting a lot of the profit taking and everything kind of just play out. And these strong support levels that we're breaking down through right now, really, if you think about it, are just that first wave of retail. So I mean, these guys. So I mean, yeah, it's on the institutions now to kind of decide where they want to pick it up from. Large players, institutions, like longtime Bitcoiners, they'll kind of set the new floor. But yeah, this is definitely breaking down farther. Probably quickly too. I think it could snap quick, dude. I don't know what you think, but Karim, but I think this thing could snap down quickly and like just be really violent and go to like $20,000.
No, absolutely. By definition, textbook, the waterfall is that. It goes like this, drip, 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 and because there's no buying support, and he's just gonna keep looking for the next limit order, and then he's gonna get to a point where the limit, whatever, is gonna be like, oh shit, there's no more limit orders. So what happens? Then he goes to the next one. That's why I told you guys why DMI is so important, because it tells you the movement of the market maker. And the market maker, listen, those guys have quotas. They have daily volume quota they have to hit. So if they're trying to do the trading game, right, and the wash trading, and there's not enough volume, aka not enough trading fee, well, the computer is going to go where the next liquidity is. You feel me? So if the next liquidity is like, I use the pawn shop analogy all the time to tell you guys, if the next big order is saying, hey, I'm at 27,000, take it or leave it, well, the market maker is going to be like, well, I'm going to go get it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because let's not forget why red is so important in the DMI is this. We had the cross bearish, okay, near the top, textbook. But then you have to wait for this thing to cool off. which means it's still kind of like overbought in a sense. So market maker is not done. And just by maintaining sideways, it's still a selling pressure. It doesn't have to go up. The fact that it's not curving down is still saying that day by day, week by week, there's more selling than buying, which is why price is going down. It's going down slow. That's why the line is static, but it's still a bearish line. Perfect example here. It wasn't spiking violently, but red was still above blue. And this is why it was just, you were just being taken to the cleaners, right? Taken to the cleaner, back and forth, back and forth. So we have massing pump, but that move hasn't been digested yet. The intensity is starting to curve the other way, so slow down, but it's still, this is what a bear market is. It gets you slowly over time. Remember, this, guys, this is a weekly chart. By the time, let's say it goes over here and cool off, this is November.
Look, there's no trade here that, like, okay, so when a market goes up, it's because traders pile in on a certain opportunity. Well, there's no opportunity here. There's no percentage move here for anybody. So there's only one way for it to fall. So I mean, yeah, I think if, like, it's been pretty apparent, like, I don't know what's taking the market so long to just puke, but it needs to happen already. You know,
Opium. Yeah, I keep hearing this whole, I think we're going to get a double top, and I'm like, people, the double top was in it February 22nd.
Exactly.
And then we were lucky enough to get a triple top 14th of March. And then lo and behold, holy crap, we even got a quadruple top 15th of April. It's done. It happened already. What are you waiting for? It's right there.
Go home, everybody.
I don't know.
Exactly. Because then
Bitcoin's done.
Because they're basically saying, like we talk about all the time as a joke, because they didn't get to get out, so they feel like, no, it has to go back up. But if they were the one that got out, they'd be like, yeah, of course it's done. So that's kind of the joke. And the joke is on them because they don't understand that if you don't understand the big picture of the entire economy and markets, like we've been talking about, well access all the time, you will always be punched by surprise, right? Oh, it looks similar, but it's not. This time it's different, right? The joke. So you got to be able to see what's going on. And the problem with those people, they didn't understand that this is different than previous run. Before, you only had Bitcoin primarily as the pair, or Bitcoin and Ethereum. But now, with this cycle, it was different. The chart that they were looking to see, the chart that goes crazy, parabola, Wall Street, cheat sheet, textbook, and dumb, that was the total altcoin market cap. Axis, remember, right? We were talking about it. And you can see that's where that shape is. I don't have that chart here. But
yeah, if you type in total two on your chart there.
Hold on, let me see.
I think that's just altcoins. I'm pretty sure.
Just type total two.
Yeah, it is everything but Bitcoin.
We had the 30% pullback, just while you're getting that up. When did it end? 27th of January. That was a 30% pullback.
Yeah.
Now,
So
anything after that is a double top already. It's been and gone. It's long since been and gone.
Because this is the joke. Let me go on the weekly to make it
look. That even looks more like now that chart pattern there looks way easier to read. It's just rolling over.
Exactly.
Nice and smooth.
Well said.
Because
it looks just like
BTC
this.
being like the core asset which everyone trades in and out of, that chart will look a little bit more funkier, but this will give you more of an organic feel what the market's feeling like.
Exactly. So this is the joke. This is the chart they thought they were looking for, but they were thought that they would see that on Bitcoin, not understanding that no. It's here because the liquidity is different in this market, right? Unit buys. People don't want to buy Bitcoin. It's too expensive. Institution FOMO did for sure. But the little guy and some of the other spots, they were in the altcoin. And look at this. Right. It just started to cross red on the DMI. And you know what time it is. Like, he has a long way to go. So altcoins about to be destroyed. They better be lucky.
Yeah,
hashtag sacrifice that shit while it still has value. Because, whoo, boy, long way down. So if you show them this chart, they're going to be like, duh, of course we're going down. Look, we're about to cross bearish. But when you show them Bitcoin chart, they'll be like, nah, we're going to bounce. No, we're going to bounce. So this is kind of the joke.
So we did already.
Pretty much.
Exactly. So they were looking at the wrong thing. And that's if they were only using their length of like, hey, I know what I'm doing. I've been in the crypto market for X, Y, and Z, blah, blah, blah. Not understand that. Who gives a fuck? It has nothing to do with that. If you understand how the mechanics works, like Wade Dow talks about, if you understand how the machine works and you see the shenanigans that the banks are doing, Federal Reserve, rates movement, bond market movement, understanding that if the bond market moved first, hit the stock hit Bitcoin, you see the correlation path. You can go to the inception point and derive what's to happen. And that's even more powerful because you have enough time to protect yourself. So when people think you're crazy, no, you're ahead. And then when you find other patterns that confirm what you're saying, which again, to recap, grayscale negative premium, Bitcoin and Ethereum, we were talking about the bearish pattern here, the distribution phase, right? The Wyckoff, all this other stuff. It just adds more. And then, like Richard loved to talk, the JPEG, the nonsense, the Fomotard, the Shiba Inu, whatever. You know what I mean? You add all these things, because on Quant Game, we're not just relying on one, we're relying on all the other aspects. And of course, the DMI, which is a great indicator, right? My favorite one, because it tells you what the market makers are doing, right? Because price can be manipulated, but you know who the big guns are, and you know if they're buying or selling, and then you can just rotate out of that. And that was the key.
Shout out to Marco the Hexagon for the $10 super chat. It's Tuesday. Let's go.
But yeah, so that was just kind of the key here. I don't know if you guys have any. Funny updates too. BlockFi got a cease and desist. I don't know if you guys saw that article.
I saw that.
That's a joke, guys. For you guys to understand why it's not important, because BlockFi owns a lot of Bitcoin, and they were already doing a lot of shenanigans, and then now they were over leveraged because they went to. Just for you to understand, to create some of the yield, they do risky play. And some of their risky play was they got involved in grayscale. And they did the lockup and everything.
All right, Karim, stop joking around. We all know what you did. You went after Anthony Pompliano because he says bang, bang, too. And so you shut his shit down, and I love you for that.
That's true, Maddie. Oh, my God. I just realized, he does say that sometimes.
Not anymore.
That's
There's only one real one.
Hex Gangsters.
Oh my God, Maddie, that's a good one. So that was another. That adds to the shenanigans, and now they gotta liquidate because every day that goes by, they keep losing money, and the price goes down, they keep losing money, so they have to cut their loss, forced liquidation. So this is what we're talking about also with Axis. That guys, it's gonna get crazy because some of those businesses, I repeat. I'll say it twice. Some of those businesses, they cannot operate if Bitcoin goes to a certain price. That's how insane it is. And make no mistake.
Oh, dude, anyone that was here in 2018 literally saw so much. Oh my God.
It's gonna
I
be
feel
insane.
so bad because I remember companies going under. I have exposure to the mining game. Well, there was entire companies. One was called Gigawatt, and it had I think over $100 million of people just putting money into this.
Yeah.
And honestly,
insane.
there was a lot of factors that played into that, and I won't need to go into all of them here, but there was some shady shit going on back when there was just not a lot of knowledge in the crypto space, and everyone hoarded their knowledge back then. I think that's kind of an important point, is because we want to expose all that so that it's more free and fair exposure. You have free and fair access to coins that are helpful for you, rather than people getting caught up in all these shit coins. Because really, there's only one financial tool in crypto right now that actually makes you money.
Exactly.
And it's not fucking BlockFi.
You know what's funny? That's what I firmly believe. It's because of the effort that, when I say we as a whole, definitely the Hex community by far, and us doing and spreading this free knowledge, I am telling you, this is the reason why the chart looks the way it looks. Because those motherfuckers were ready to play the regular game with the algorithmic bot, do the little, bear flag, retest the shoulder, all that joke. And then they were about to unload on people. The difference is we got there first. You feel me? So now the whole play is fucked because they wanted to be the one dumping and they didn't. Now they got to hold the market. They caught holding the bag. You feel me? The same bag that we used to dump on people, because now if the price goes too low, they get fucked. Michael Saylor, right? The 30, he's in the red now. It's official. His average cost wasn't, he started buying in the 10, whatever. His average cost when he was buying at 50,000 and all sort of shit was in the 32, 33K, some shit like that. So not only he barely made money, then he went negative. Now he's officially in the red.
Yeah, I think his average is 36 or 31, something like that. It's not that high. So he's fucked in the game.
So we're talking a guy that started buying at 10K. Let me also remind everybody, Tesla started to buy around here too. And they sold some of it at the top. What if they say, fuck this, we're going to dump it, and then we're going to buy back cheaper? They can definitely do that. Understand something?
Of course.
Whales and sharks, they call, and that's going to be important point for when we're going to talk about pulse chain. They're cool people, but if you fuck with them, they're going to fuck with you. And sometimes if they have an opportunity to eat another whale, oh, fuck yeah, they're going to do it. They're going to fucking do it. Because they know where your liquidation is. And you're bragging about, like Richard said, you're going to know how he feels about buying the top. Because now it's going to get pushed down. And as it gets pushed down, maybe he's going to be able to be in the red longer, whatever, because, you know, he owns most of it, company, this, that, and he's cash flow positive. That's cool. But he's going to get to a point where shareholder might just say, you know what? Nah, we're not doing that. Because they're going to say, listen, it's okay. Just dump the thing, push it down to 18K, and then we buy back the Bitcoin. Because that's what institutions do. If the loss gets too much, they dump the fucking thing, take the taxable negative loss, because they're going to be able to write that shit off as a loss, and then they buy back in lower. And if you as the little guy, you're not prepared and you don't understand what's happening, you're going to get wiped out. So those big guys right around here, this is when you see the cascade liquidation, because there's that hard stop. Because some of them worse than Michael Saylor, because Michael Saylor at least had the money. Company was somewhat making cash flow with no tech, whatever. Some of those guys, they on leverage. Let me remind you, 8, 9, 10x leverage. They bought this money on leverage, and now Fed is saying, okay, bitch, give my money back. Reverse repo.
You know, talking of Tesla, I mean, the people that will make the decision to do that dump will be the board, not Elon. Make no mistake. When the board of an auto manufacturer sees the $300 million or whatever, no, that was just what they sold off. What have they got, like 1.1 billion or something or other?
Yep.
When they see that thing like lose 50% in a day or whatever it's going to do shortly, they're just going to be like, no, sell that shit, we're out. You know,
exactly.
They're not in the crypto game. They're not long-term investors in terms of crypto. They're an auto manufacturer. It's like, sorry, Elon, we're out. You know,
because
there's no way they're holding. They are not hodlers.
Because first of all, they're the one that sold it first, all to test the liquidity to get out of here. And they make more money than their profitability for a while. That's number one. Number two, if they know for sure, this is what cascade liquidation does. You're going to know for sure that this thing is going down when it break key support, which I think is right around 28K. If we get there, I am telling you, you're going to see acceleration to the downside, because right now we have something going on. It's trading down, it's going there. But the volume is slowly starting to pick up to the downside, but it's not massive just yet. But as this thing keeps going down, there's bots out there. If it gets to a support, could be 29K, could be 28.5. Nobody knows. But right around that zone, this is what I draw this thing over here. Hold on, let me see if I can.
And Children of the Grave, thank you for the $5 super chat. I like Kareem's new catchphrase. You feel me?
We gotta innovate. We're constantly innovate.
Only on Tuesdays.
Make no mistake, it's still here. Look at this. Everybody talk. Oh, look at that bullish diversion. We're gonna spank. Next target right here. And by the way, the short seller guy are still warming up. They're waiting. If the price keeps going up, they're gonna get more confident. See, those are mini bear flags, you know. Because you'll be stupid to short in a crypto because you get wrecked, like Richard said. But when it becomes obvious, when there's acceleration to the downside, when there's no more support, like this thing is literally just cracking the neckline right now for the supposedly ugly ass. It was supposed to be a big head and shoulder, but we couldn't even make the shoulder. But when this thing cracks right around here somewhere, oh baby, you best believe. Next stop is here. And that's like a childish support. Could be here 24K or straight up 20K.
I'm going to call sub 18 by the end of August.
Exactly. And then let me teach you guys some physics too a little bit. When something accelerates to the downside, it's not because, oh, look at that, it's perfect, the floor. No, bitch. It goes faster. Gravity's going to push it down all the way to here. You're going to see a crazy 1 hour candle like you have never seen. Only those who've been to a live bear market knows what I'm talking about. Those crazy candle, like there's so much velocity. Imagine jumping off a building, but it's a skyscraper. And as you go down, you accelerate. So it's going to be with so much force, so much limit orders. This is how we can go to 15K. Because if it drip slow, maybe 20K first, pit stop, and then we bounce. We do the same garbage of, basically 2018, 2017. But if this thing decides to accelerate, forget about it. We're going directly to 20K. So those are the those are the two things that you want to kind of look out for. But yeah, I mean, it's just I feel bad to some extent, but this is how the market teaches you. You're not supposed to be over leveraged. So the block files and the likes and whatever, and now it becomes a game of chickens, right? Who gets to hold and who gets to leave. And if you stay too long with playing the tough guy, you might get liquidated. And that's why, again, reflexivity, and like Richard says also, more people buy, more people sell. And that's what we're doing right now, because this could be a gigantic bear flag too. And then around here, that's support. When he breaks around here, that's how I drew the line. Right around 28K, that's the last line of defense. Because after that, it's a wrap. You know, look. If he cracked this thing here, which is right around 28K, can't make this shit up. 28K, crack 28K. See you later. So yeah, I mean that's pretty much the insanity what's going on. But for those of you accumulating, those of you like me onboarding, fun fact, over the last 3 days I've onboarded, and me and my friend onboarded like 6 people. Total amount was almost 200 grand. Pretty cool. So great discounts today, tomorrow, possibly the next day. If you see another nice red candle, you're sitting on some fiat, man, get that cheap ETH, get your stakes, So be excited about that. If you're holding that ETH, no, you better swap that before it becomes even more cheap. So, that's the main thing here. So yeah, those were just the housekeeping, making sure. Unless guys, you have anything you want to add for this before we switch to Pulse Chain? But yeah, that's the main up for the market. Oh yeah.
I think Bitcoin promised to be a lot of things to a lot of people. I think that the narratives changed over time, right? From being digital cash, being something that was outside of the government's control, something that was trying to be decentralized, and being programmable money. And it ended up being a temporary store of value, right? Something that has had higher gains than anything else in history, 6.5 million X. And there's a reason why financial advisors and gurus say past performance does not equal future results, right? Because the world changes, and because they want to get their middleman fee, they like to insert themselves in the middle of things. But here we are giving away knowledge for free, because everybody on this stream here, we're all stakers. We're people who have a stake in crypto, and in particular, I think a lot of us were wanting to be involved with Bitcoin, or at least the idea of what Bitcoin could have been, right? Bitcoin could have been something that increased people's financial freedom, that it helped you to buy your freedom, maybe even helped your mental health because of that, and because it allowed you to save, because it could have been so many things, right? And what we found,
for a couple of great years, it was all those things. You could buy a coffee with, but I mean, I've lived that reality. It was awesome. It was amazing. And then, how long will it last? And the inevitable happened, right?
Well, one of the problems with Bitcoin is that nobody locked up their Bitcoin for 6 years on average. Nobody did that, right? And so, and if they did, it was not definitely on average, right? Because most people kept it liquid. And that allowed it to be co-opted in a lot of ways that HEX cannot be co-opted. It's kind of like a security layer almost to be time locked in, because it incentivizes everybody to work together, right? And to build an awesome community, to educate each other for free, right? What we're doing is not an original thing here on Quant Gang. This is something that Richard Hart has modeled, Discourse Syndicate, Hexologist, Crypto Coffee, right? All of the cutthroats, WhalesOnly, right? Everybody who has their own channel, and everybody who goes on other people's channels to give away their knowledge for free, right? That's a tradition of paying it forward that we're all excited and happy to do. I mean, it's one way to create meaning whenever you're getting suddenly wealthy, is to help others by educating them in a way that they can help themselves, right? And so that's a really cool calling, right? That's a really cool purpose-driven life. is to be able to be an educator, to be someone who's helping to make the world a better place. And by setting that example is encouraging others to do the same.
The thing with HEX versus Bitcoin, in hindsight, the first thing that went wrong with Bitcoin, of course, was the ASIC miners coming out and centralizing the quote unquote hash power. And then, the miners, by sort of more centralizing, got to have a lot of power over the consensus of how the protocol would or would not change. So that's the first thing that went wrong. And then, if you want to be a conspiracy theorist, maybe the devs got kind of bought out and kicked out and all that kind of stuff. And then, decisions were made. So let's compare that to HEX, right? So HEX, the miners can't be co-opted because there are none. Right, I mean, and there's none of that. And even if you were able to round up the devs and threaten death if they don't change the protocol, they can't. So it's what Bitcoin was without those two externalities that screwed it up. It's plain and simple, and it does that because it's smart enough to be built on top of the foundation, Ethereum layer, which is able to be changed and whatnot, but the contract itself, it's immutable. None of those things can happen, and well, not unless Ethereum itself is totally co-opted, but good luck with that. And then there's Pulse Chain anyway, so it's just awesome. It's a natural evolution. It's like, okay, there were the bugs, it was a great idea, there's the things that went wrong, fix those, and here we are. End of story.
Spoken like a true dev and streamer and genius. Thank you, Future Us, for everything that you do for the community, both on the streaming and the programming side of things.
Thank you.
That's fun.
And thank you to Marco the Hexagon for the $10 super chat. Wait, you're telling me you folks are not charging Hexagons $1,000 for this info? Blasphemy! And we appreciate you folks.
Bitcoin's
Real
making new
Hexagons.
It's kind of funny.
I have questionable morals. If anyone wants to send me $1,000 for free advice, I don't mind. Send it in HEX, though, would you?
Oh, speaking of which, one of the sites that has been generated by the community is just so awesome is pulselead.xyz. I donated a small amount of HEX to that site. Can everybody still hear me?
Yep, looking it up.
Okay.
Hey,
yeah, this is
now.
So I'm gonna drop this link in the chat. It actually says who made the site down at the bottom. It gives their Twitter handles. I recognize Crypto Hextopia and GameSys10, and then also Caleb Remington. Is somebody I wasn't following yet, but now I am. But I went ahead and donated a little bit of HEX to this group because I found their tool so useful. Pulselead.xyz is a site you can go to see all the pulse sacrifices, and it reads from the blockchain, I believe, and so it's really helpful here. Let me see if I can bring it up. Yeah. Total sacrifice so far, $551 million. The price is calculated from historical data. This means that the total amount you see was calculated based on what the crypto was worth at the time of the transaction. I saw somebody asking in the comments here about why Etherscan was showing a lower value for what they sacrificed, and that's because Etherscan is just, you're actually able to toggle on Etherscan by clicking on the price between current price and price when the transaction happened. Here, reading again from pulselead.xyz, due to certain restrictions, sends and Staker app donations are not yet included. We are working on it. And I heard somebody say in the chat, this is just a rumor that maybe Staker app donations are now being included in some of this data. It says this site only tracks the following cryptocurrencies: Aave, Link, DAI, Ether, HEX, Maker, RenBTC, USDC, USDT, Uni, Wrapped Bitcoin, and Wrapped Ethereum. It shows a countdown to the end of the sacrifice phase and already shows that day 5 has ended. And then it's going to show you a leaderboard of the top 100, or you can choose top 1,000 or top 5,000 addresses. And remember, this does not include the Sens Foundation. And I'm not sure if anybody on here knows, will the Sens Foundation donations be combined if they're from the same address as I used to send directly to the sacrifice chamber?
Surely.
Probably.
Absolutely, okay. Factually, definitely, maybe. I would think so.
Okay.
No expectations.
No expectations. This is a sacrifice after all. So, but this is amazing that you can see that there have already been 30,000 wallets that have sacrificed in the first 5.5 days, and it's been over 1.5 years since HEX launched to get 30,000 or 40,000 now stakers. That's really amazing that this is growing so quickly. And you can see the countdown. You can even search here. If you type in your address, then it will pop up even if you're not in the top 10,000, or if you're not in the top 1,000, it'll show you that. And then you can even download an Excel spreadsheet with all the data in it. And so you can search there too, all transactions CSV, entire leaderboard CSV. That's the one I download. And then it shows the HEX price and who created the site. So well done, everybody. And thank you so much for the $50 super chat from Cash Plus. This is a really great community. Where'd it go? Really great community, guys. Keep up the great work. Our pleasure.
Hey, Maddie, can you add Karim back in here?
Oh, sorry. Karim, you're back.
Oh, good. I think it's weird. Every time I share the screen, it always goes weird, and then the stream starts to act weird.
Oh, good. We'll always get you back in here. You know that, brother.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Dude, I was listening to Future Us talk a little bit earlier, and dude, go just recap that one more time for me, because like I think you were talking about how HEX was like basically revolutionary, and by fixing a couple simple things and then making it immutable, and I totally agree. Not to bring up a dead topic, but yeah, it's fascinating to me.
Well, yeah, in summary, Bitcoin was a massive revolution in and of itself. It started out right. There were a few things, unforeseen things that happened. One was centralization of mining due to ASIC miners and their cost. The second thing was basically, yeah, I don't have the facts on this, but what it looked like on the outside was, Blockstream came in and started offering huge amounts of money to devs that would do things their way. And a lot of, if not all, the original devs went away. So that the miners had a huge amount of sway in how it went on.
Back the other way now. It's getting more decentralized again, and it's because we can utilize energy production sources that are like near zero cost. So you can use any miner. You could even fab your own based on old tech that's super cheap to build, right? So it's kind of cool how it's flipping back the other way now, but. So it actually gives credence to a potential bounce on Bitcoin at some point, right? But I mean, HEX just does it better, man. It does it so better. Like it pays you to hold it.
Well, there are no miners. See, the thing with the miners, it's not about the hash power being centralized or anything, and the security of the network's not about hash power anyway. But that's a whole other topic. It was about the consensus and what got to be changed and what didn't get to be changed in the protocol as the development went on. And then when the Blockstream thing happened, everything sort of came to a screaming halt for whatever their reasons. So human beings got in and made what they all believed obviously was the right decisions, and it changed the trajectory of Bitcoin's functionality. And so the point I was making with HEX is that neither of those two things are possible with HEX. Firstly, because there are no miners. There is no consensus. It doesn't matter what people decide is a good idea or a bad idea. That code is immutable, period. Which just, to me, gives enormous comfort in the future trajectory of smart contracts like HEX, which is only one at the moment. But yeah.
Yeah. And having Pulse Chain also like doubles our strength. because we
Exactly.
have two hexes.
Real
now,
security,
which is pretty
huge
cool.
security in that as well. You know, because now you've
Redundancy,
got
right?
diversity, and
And-
you've got diversity in layer one. I mean, you can't ask for more, except maybe more diversity.
Pretty cool.
It's awesome.
Pretty cool.
It's awesome.
Yeah, if Whales is back, we could start talking a little bit about our sacrifice
I'm here.
executions thus far.
It's the way it gets.
Strategies.
And I'm gonna go last because I wanted to share something from the chart, but I'm gonna go last in case the stream start acting up. But yeah, go ahead. This is the fun part. But hey, before we're done, there's no more question in the chat about something else because once we go pulse, we don't go back.
Well, we're freestyle right now. I mean, if somebody has already seen a good question, I saw from Naga Bo, who's a HEX content creator and has an awesome style, was out there in Vegas with us, and he's asking what our first 30 days price discovery prediction is for Pulse.
This is gonna be awesome. I'm gonna go last. I want to hear Access and Wells first.
I mean,
That's
crazy.
question.
You can't even ask that question.
There's no real answer to that question.
Yeah,
You see the first price
trying to
print
compare.
first.
Yeah. I mean, that's a big exact, but like in what I like to say is always in the
Mathematically, you
balance,
could just take the value of the Ethereum and divide it by 10,000.
Yeah, that's about it.
I don't know.
Because here's the key. I'm gonna drop a hint, right? The key for Pulse is this. It's all going to be about how hard the reflexivity happens. Example, and Richard talked about it all the time. Because I taught you guys last week, and again, the path to liquidity is what's going to create valuation for Pulse. And make no mistake, in the bear market, everybody is looking for something that's going to give them gains because they're down 40, 50%. Just my friend that I onboarded, that he had his Ethereum sitting around that was crazy, over 30 plus of it, and he lost like 50% value. And then when we swapped to HEX a little bit, and then he saw the price go up like 20%, he was just so happy to get his value back. Just that got him excited. Just, okay, let's just do everything. Blah, blah, blah. Next thing you know, we're doing sacrifice, we're doing long-term stake. So imagine that in like at a high pace. Imagine a whole ocean, not a lake, an ocean trying to go into like a tiny little straw, which then gets straight into that. But that's how high this can go because you don't understand the demand for Pulse. That's why Richard is showing you those numbers about 1,000 new person a day. That's compounding rate at a crazy rate, and they're all going to come in. Yeah. Some of them are going to sacrifice.
So, I mean, I'm looking at that number, that 500 or whatever million, and I'm thinking, I don't know. Intuitively, I just multiplied it by 4. So I said, this thing's probably going to end up like a $2 billion market cap.
Exactly. So the way I look at it is the early smart people that bought HEX and all that kind of stuff, they're going to come in, they're going to pile in. The big wallet, believe it or not, they might wait a little bit because the amount of money that they come in with, even if they were to suck up the liquidity right now, which again is not that much, the price can just explode. That's why they're quote unquote doing it a little bit. If some of you were awake yesterday when the thing went down to 10 cents, we saw massive transactions, 6 figures coming in, buying, because that was their only opportunity. There's still much more money sitting on the sideline ready to come in. And they
how many coins are there supposed to be in Pulse if it's done properly?
10,000x of Ethereum supply.
Yes.
What is it?
And
so
then
1.16 trillion, 1.16
exactly.
trillion.
And some of the bigger wallet, make no mistake, they're gonna wait because they have to. For the thing to launch, there's gonna be a liquidity event. Early people, again, the marshmallow, right? Those who just want free money, dump, whatever. They're gonna wait for all of that, and they're gonna come scooping because thanks to the automatic market maker and the ratio, it's going to be near zero. Airdrop at zero, obviously for tax purposes, and then near zero. But then they can come and buy by the millions, which is better than just doing the sacrifice because HEX is already illiquid to some extent in terms of not the liquidity in dollar, but the liquidity in HEX. So every time there's those little pullback, that's what we buy back so fast because that's their opportunity. I'm talking big accounts. But then when it goes back to 13, 14, 15 cents, it's still now a little bit of HEX available, not that much. So imagine all of that coming in after the launch, that's going to push the price even higher. That's what Richard keeps saying.
So Karim, what's your price prediction?
So my price prediction is this. Ethereum is going to be falling into Pulse, pushing the price up there. And I'm looking at just what EOS did. Again, balance of probability. EOS did a 40x in the bear market. Whatever we launch, 40x from there. And the reason why I say wherever we launch is because we're going to have path of valuation, automatic market maker kicks in, rebalance for the 10,000. The price going to be whatever, 10,000th of a penny, whatever the number is. And then
it
from
doesn't matter.
Low,
I agree by that.
40x from that low, we 40x minimum.
Wouldn't it be a function of the user? So if there was a way to track basically like gas use, you could see the number of transactions somehow.
That too, but because of the limited amount of data we have right now, we go back to what has happened in the bear market before, what could have happened. So because Pulse is like Ethereum, and to some degree, because I was there, EOS was supposed to be the Ethereum killer. So I can't say he's gonna do 1,000x because there's already so many coins. It's not hard lockup like Hex, so it will be a bad comparison. But 40x, I can see that. I'm talking about like within 60 days, people. And then after that, we just watch the.
Yeah. So what's your strategy? You fucking unloaded already, or what? 90%.
For me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So I dollar cost average, and I've been telling people for a while. Again, understanding what the whale's gonna do because
you're gonna give away your alpha. You're gonna give away all your strats.
Oh, absolutely. Dude, dude, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay, let's go like this. This gets funny. This is what has happened over the last 3-4 days. Because I care about my people to stake a class. They're not traders. So giving them alpha is the best thing to do because we're going to stake, we're not going to trade, and we're going to win. And we have won big time. Okay? First day goes in. We start to pump. Maddie, can somebody pull up the chart? Because I don't want to. I want to put it on my computer, but I don't want the stream to go buggy. That's what pisses me. I need somebody. Oh, man. You know what? Let me try. Let me try one more time. If you start to bug, then I will just cancel it.
Okay. Karim, I know you said you were going to go last, so I want to hear from everybody else first. Perfect. What their price predictions are, and then we'll have you wrap up the discussion. Who wants to go next?
Yeah, I mean, I can't. There's not much to say about it. I think you could put any value on it. I tried to do some quick math, like 1.16 trillion divided by a $2 billion market cap. But you could pick that number, but it's just conjecture. I mean, you're really looking for what kind of percent move you're going to get off the amount of users that come onto it. So, I'm actually, my quick answer is just that I'm buying Hex right now.
Smart man. Because again, there's so much more sacrifice to come, right? Like even one of my bullish target got hit, right? I wanted to see minimum 1.3 to 1.5 billion Hex stake. We are 2.5 right now, which is awesome, and there's still many days to go. Now,
I'm buying more Hex. I'm bullish on Hex. Even if we saw 4 cents, I'm buying more Hex. Like
exactly.
And Whales, what about you? Do you have a price prediction for Pulse?
I'll tell you what I think. I don't know if it's like a whole price prediction or anything, but the way I view it, 1.16 trillion isn't a little bit to scoff at, but just thinking about how markets work and how markets function, we have to take into consideration the fact that we don't know everybody that's going to own Pulse, right? We don't know. So a lot of people are going to be getting Pulse that aren't going to think like, let's take a class. So we have to take that into consideration, right? That's a serious consideration to take into account because people will be dumping this shit. Everybody isn't going to be thinking like us, and that's
it's
just
not a hard luck. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's okay, right? Because the reality is all that's doing is creating another opportunity for those that got fiat sitting around a dry powder or whatever. If the bridge is open. So that's to say that starting out is going to have to learn to walk. Right, it's gonna have to learn to crawl before it can actually walk, and before it can run, it has to learn to walk. Right, so I don't expect it to just jump out the gate at first because it's 1.16 trillion coins, and people are gonna be selling them. Like you gotta think that's gonna happen because everybody isn't gonna be everybody isn't gonna be diamond handed. Like we should know this by now. So just based on that alone, I would expect some kind of dumpage off the rip, but that's just creating opportunity, right? So you just got to take advantage of it when it presents itself. And that's pretty much it for me. I mean, as far as the price prediction, I mean, this thing could go like even more than 40x in my mind because, and this isn't to sound crazy or anything, but let's just be realistic here. It's exactly what Karim is saying, right? It's like, where else are they going to go? Look at where we're at already, just in ERC20 tokens.
Mhm.
Yep.
$400 to $500 million.
There's other smart contracts screaming for an answer to like cheaper gas and faster transactions.
Yeah.
So it works out
Yeah.
for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And
So-
Future
so I think-
Us, do you have a prediction? Are you muted?
You muted. Can't hear you.
We can't hear you, but it doesn't say that you're muted.
Yeah,
There we go.
my headset itself was muted. Yeah, I'm going to be baller and put an actual number on it. I'm going to say the first signs of stability short term within 30 days or so. I'm going to call it around the 10-cent mark, but massive volatility, and that's after the 40x plus. That's what I'm going to say. I have reasons for it, but what do I know, right? I defer to the others and their wisdom.
Okay. Yeah, this is not financial advice and entertainment purposes only, not medical advice.
It's only that.
Yada yada. So for me, what I look at is it seems like, the actual market cap, which is a vanity metric for Bitcoin for a long time,
Yes.
had been 20x what was being put into the market. I think Willy Woo was the person that Richard quoted whenever he was talking about that market multiple, basically, that happened, because it's not just $1 in increases the market cap $1, right? It increases it $20 in the case of Bitcoin, at least back in 2018, 2019, 2017. And so, what I'm seeing right now is that there's over $500 million already sacrificed. Now, we know that that's already in the sacrifice chamber. We also have no idea how much more is going to be contributed. And I'd love to hear people's critiques of my wild imagination, that I'm sticking with my prediction from last week before the sacrifice phase started, or the same day it was starting, of $10 billion sacrificed. $10 billion, okay? I think we do 20x from here, what's been sacrificed. I think the whales haven't gone all in yet. I think the OA hasn't gone in. People love to argue with me whether the OA will or won't, but that's part of how I get to the 10 billion mark.
It doesn't need. But Maddie, hold on. We got to go back to the other topic first, because I want to make sure I go over mine as well.
And then my final price prediction then would be, I guess, it would be 20 cents. Yeah, so my prediction would be 20 cents, and then based on it, somebody said 10,000 Ethereum, $2,000 divided by 10,000. That's where you get 20 cents from.
Yeah. So a couple of things that I think people misconstrue, and again, we have to add time frame too. So rule number one, which I agree with you, Maddie, and most people, market cap is a vanity metric. Stop wasting your time. It's irrelevant. Focus on the multiple. When people ask me what it's going to do, I look at the multiples. I don't look at, this is going to do this much market. It doesn't matter, because the market cap is going to be a stupid number. It's not going to make sense, but don't worry about that. Because whatever we end up sacrificing, going to multiply by 10,000, is going to be already a crazy number. But that doesn't mean it can't keep going up, okay? In the balance of probability, because, Karim never just give you opium just for fun, I'm saying 40x is the benchmark bare minimum, because EOS did that, and we're better than EOS. And EOS launched in the bear market. Again, this is what design intention mean. Does that mean it cannot go higher? No, it just means that's the bear target entry level that you got to look at. It's going to do at least that. So vanity metric, don't waste your time. Number two, minimum 40x, because it can definitely do that or more, because it's better design. Number three, very important, which goes back to time frame. There's that hidden fundamentals. The first 30 days, all the ERC people, whatever, they got 30 days to get their free coin. After that, it disappears. It gets taken away. We're going to be tracking that. When that gets disappeared, guess what? That's the signal. Free alpha here, because I just love you guys so much. That's the signal that says, okay, Whales are saying, okay, who has pulse? Well, whoever else that's already in the system or sacrificed. Everybody else, we know the wallets. We know who got their free stuff. We know who did not. Because if you want to run, like Whales perfectly said, first of all, you got to crawl, walk, see what's going on, catch your stride, and next thing you know, you accelerate. And then once you're around the 40x, all you gotta do is watch the chart. Richard already told you. If it doesn't fail out of the parabola, I don't care. 40x, 50x, 70x, 100, it just keeps going. If you don't fail out of the parabola, you just keep going. And let me go one more step. Most of the money at first is going to be held by hexagons. I know that for a fact as a mathematical, because that is our chain. If nobody joined, we don't care. We're just going to be doing our hex thing, and that's fine. That's worst case scenario. We know more people are going to join. But if they don't come, that's fine. We're strongholders. We're getting mad gains on our hex. We want our PX to go higher. And due to the path of liquidity, we need a higher value of pulse. Higher value of pulse, PX becomes more valuable. We don't need to trade. We can even delegate and stake that pulse, which is going to add to the scarcity factor. We get a 25% token burn. Are you fucking kidding me? And we get no inflation. After that 30 days, once we know what's circulating and what's not, I'm going to hit on my boy Gunter. We're going to have a spreadsheet. We're going to know what's going on. It's going to become like a chart of expiring stakes. Once we know what's going on, it's game on. So don't worry about the noise. Don't worry about the first 30 days. Don't get liquidated. Don't be stupid. Don't trade. Don't create yourself a taxable event. If something can potentially do a 40x move, why the hell would you create a taxable event for yourself? That doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah, you need to have your decision and what you're going to do, locked in, now, and then walk away. I would say 60 to 90 days even. Yes. Don't even think about trading anything. No matter what the gains you see. If you see 100x, you'd be mad within the first 30 days to do anything with that.
Absolutely. This is Quant game. Karim give you free game because he wants you to get rich and stay fucking rich. Because that's what you need to understand. The thing is already designed to make you rich. You got to follow instructions. It's when you don't follow instruction, you get wrecked, and then you come crying, and then you're going to ask for money. And guess what? I'm going to be kind with you, and I'm going to tell you no. I need you to listen right now so you can get rich. Because it's mathematical. It's designed to do that. You don't create taxable event. I don't care where you live. It's going to start at zero. That's the biggest gift it's giving you. Because I know some of us, we can't just leave our jurisdiction like that, right? We got family, things we got to do. You start at zero. It's the best gift in the world. The moment you can delegate, boom, there's gonna be great delegators. I'm sure Staker app's gonna run a node. It just makes sense. Just add another money printer. It's the same thing weeks ago. People like Karim, PX, EX. No, get the money printer on both sides. Get paid. What are you doing with your life? And guess what? What do you think is gonna happen when we get all this extra gain on HEX, and then we say, hey, maybe Pulse is cheap right now. We got all this extra gain on one side. We can do so many things. At least 50%, I believe, 50% or plus of the supply is going to be held by the strong hands, the hexagons that understand that there is no inflation. What you have is what you have. Understand that it's designed to appreciate. Understand that this is the better version of Ethereum. And understand that you have no taxable event. And after that 30 days, once we remove those freemium and we know what's going on, that's when the real run is going to happen. So I'm saying bare minimum 40x because EOS has done it, right? This is not opium here. This is mathematical deduction here. And after the 30 days, that's when the real run will happen. So if you're like, oh, I didn't buy enough Pulse, I'm waiting for my paycheck, guess what? You still get that. Because some of those free people, they might just say, yeah, screw those people. Let me just dump the free Pulse, blah, blah, blah. Let them do that. That's going to be your free liquidity. So the price is going to be like, chilling, waiting for that section to be over. And after that, it's going to run. You got to be prepared. Watch the chart. Quant Gang is going to be here. If we fell off the parabola, we'll let you know.
Good. So I want to go over some basics because I think we're assuming, or at least I'm assuming, that everybody has already watched all the content. And I know that we have almost a record high number of people watching live, 341 people. Shout out to all of you. Hit the like and subscribe button or get out. Either way, the education here is free, so we ask you to do very little, but we appreciate your time and energy that you're putting into this. Now, the Pulse sacrifice strategy, or basically the rules, say that now that we're on day 5, it's going to go up 5% per day. Basically, the price. I mean, that's not how Richard is describing it because for tax purposes, but for my purposes,
the price of the points. It's the price of the points. You're buying points, and the points themselves have no value. So you're buying votes, I guess.
The points is converted to the Maddie, are you talking about the strategy for the sacrifice, or are we still talking about what the pulse can do in multiples? Because I think that's two different topics. I don't want to confuse.
Sure. So another part, I guess, to stay on topic of what it can do. So I think what it can do is introduce new game theory that hasn't been seen before, which is really to maximize this freemium model that is used in the real. Let's talk about the real world and not just the world of imaginary money that crypto inhabits. Right? Let's talk about
what. Okay, I'm out.
HEX did that, man. They came in for the freemium. Look, HEX did that perfectly.
Yes.
The Bitcoin holder guys.
So,
look. Yeah.
Pulse has a chance to change people's minds because it's giving them something for free that will probably have a value. And so people might come in thinking that they're going to dump, and then they might suddenly have some sort of experience that changes their mind, right? Mm-hmm. Once they realize how good the Pulse network is, they're either going to sell early, right? Or they're going to appreciate what they have from the get-go. And so I think those of us who are interested in being whales in all these other ERC20 coins would be more than happy to pick up those ERC20s from people if they're practically giving them away for free. They're selling them for such a low price, and then maybe they'll want to buy back higher, as many people do, right?
Yes. I think they're definitely going to come in and FOMO in for the simple reason that some of them still have that buyer's remorse. Some of them remember they were there at the beginning of HEX and they didn't pay attention, and they're not going to mess this up. So that buyer's remorse is going to really come hard and create some serious FOMO, because you got the opportunity potentially of a lifetime where lightning can potentially strike twice. Because when there's no hype here, people who know token economics, know math, know investment, read the contract, they know Pulse is no joke. That's why Richard wants those people, the contract to be out there for people to see, to realize this is the real deal. And he is better than Ethereum. He does all those other things, which makes sense. Any investor that sit down, that hears the pros and cons, it's a no-brainer. And once you understand that he has the ability to do better with the other stuff that's worth thousands of dollars, knowing that it started at 15 cents, knowing that we have the best kind of like unit buys, because he starts at 4,000 or 10,000 of a dollar, so like 0.0001. That's your cost basis, and obviously before penalties. But even after penalties, okay, you get 5,000 points or 10,000 points for every dollar. That means your cost basis is 0.002. That's still the floor. So once you understand that, and you know you missed your opportunity before, and you don't want to mess up this time, and you're gonna have no tax purposes, it's in your best interest to let it ride. Especially when you know there's no inflation, when you know there's 25% token burn, that is proof of stake, when you know it's delegated, so there's no nodes you have to run and be like second job. All the things Richard already said, I'm just re-ingurgitating, because again, repetition, the mother of all skill. He dropped crazy bombs. People just, oh, it's fun, it's entertaining. Take notes. Those are the fundamentals. They're so good. So once you understand that, and some of the new people that came in, they understand that, they're gonna be buying a lot. They're gonna delegate, and then the rest in the beginning, the price is so low. If you're selling at those low, you're just gonna get washed out. Just like CM, just like the previous people, one dump. That's a wick. We buy you out and then see you later. Like it's not even relevant.
And when Pulse changes people's minds, right? Then you know, once people have a different experience with Pulse than they're expecting to go in and dump it. They go in and are blown away. Guess what they're going to do? They're going to love Pulse, and they're going to love HEX. And HEX has all these beautiful fundamentals already baked in, and is already going to be going up a lot, maybe more, right? Maybe more than Pulse, maybe not more than Pulse. It all comes down to the adoption, right? And the way that I like to look at adoption, because, hey, you know, I'm in that business now, I guess, right? I'm in the adoption business by creating tshare.app as along with Future Us here on the other side of the screen, who has helped to provide this service for free to our users to be able to play a 15-second game and be walked through how to buy HEX through MetaMask and then
Matty
stake it.
really likes those fluffy red hearts, by the way. He's
really
addicted to them. Yep.
I am addicted to them. I make stakes. I have no business making $60 stakes, but I make them on tshare.app, you know?
See, now do it.
Nice. Maddie, I want to just a comment very important here. Somebody says,
Um,
"Oh, the fees on Pulse will be insignificant compared to Ethereum in the beginning." Yeah, but what you don't understand, my friend, this is true, but you don't understand that a Pulse is going to be very, very cheap in the beginning. So even if Ethereum do millions and millions and millions a day, even though it's way less what it used to do, let's say we do just 100,000. When a Pulse is 10,000 of a fucking penny, even a $10,000 volume is going to burn billions of Pulse. And I've seen this many times when I was on again EOS back in the day when they were launching EverPG and whatever. They did the cost very, very low, millions of tokens, but the trading volume was stupid the first freaking week, 3 days. It was like hundreds of millions. So the point is the mechanics is going to kick in right off the bat. And if
Karim, are you talking about that thing where the EOS RAM got like overloaded or whatever, and the network
I was
bugged
there.
out?
I saw it all.
Oh man, that was horrible.
They pushed the price so high it didn't even make sense. Because again, it's just there's no inflation. People still don't fucking get it. There is no inflation. What's there is there. And if people don't access their coin, if people say, hey, it's worth dust right now, there's people that will look at their dust and they'll be like, I won't even touch it until it freaking's like 10x. Because not everybody sacrifice Pulse. Not everybody is paying attention being early. Not everybody is getting a $10,000 ratio. And Richard used Vitalik as a perfect example. Vitalik has 300,000 Ethereum. Looks big, right? If it doesn't buy HEX, so to speak, it doesn't sacrifice, well, guess what? He only gets 300,000 Pulse, 1-to-1, right? And let's say he dumps that. Right now, if you sacrifice with $30, $30 freaking dollars, you get 300,000 Pulse because it's the ratio 10,000. So it just understand that sometimes something is so cheap that some people will just let it run because it makes no sense. And if it's already winning and you have no taxable event and you could stake it again, bing, 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 stake it, delegate, get rewards. Why the hell would you sell it? I know Hexicans are not going to be stupid because they understand it from Hex. We collect the T-shares. We sell the interest, we restake the principal. Okay, yes, there's no hard luck in Pulse, whatever. But at the end of the day, you delegate, you get paid. The more you have, 10,000 more because you sacrifice, the more you're going to become like a whale. So the more you can just let it sit, stake, and then maybe once a month, once in 2 weeks, when it ends stake, you sell the interest and then you restake the principal. Like it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. It's designed literally for you to do the right thing, which is in your favor. Because when you do that, you're holding the price and the price can continue to go up because you're not selling, you're delegating, which means it's not moving. It's the same principle as HEX, but you get way less APY, of course, because it's not a howler. Nobody's going to beat HEX. But that's how you can get your 40x. Go ahead, Futurist.
Oh, you read my mind.
I hear sound. I thought you were about to say something.
No, you're right. I was just thinking now is probably a really good time with what you're talking about to remind people that over the first 30 days, you have 30 days after Pulse launch to whatever you've got in your Pulse wallet through MetaMask or StakerApp or whatever, you must move it to another address. Just send it. You can probably send it back. I don't know, but don't risk it.
You can't send it back.
You can't send it back?
No,
because if it's still there, it's sometime around 30 days. The plan is that any Pulse or anything that you got in the freemium that hasn't moved, in other words, if you haven't shown up and gone, hey, thanks for the gift. Only the Pulse?
Only the
Pulse. Only the Pulse.
Oh, yeah, certainly not the ERC20. Yeah. Sorry, no, I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that.
Well,
yeah, so the Pulse, you have to move it to another address. So like, how do I do that? Do I need another MetaMask or whatever? No. In MetaMask, you can just add another address and you could just send to yourself to one of those other addresses and hold it there. And the reason is, as Richard stated, it is that even though it's freemium and it's, the airdrop and everything's free, people that just think they can get something for free and then just let it ride without doing anything at all, it's not so good for the price. So why not take it back if they don't at least show enough interest to just move their funds from one account to another within the first 30 days. So don't forget that. Don't forget that, because if you forget that, you could be very sorry.
and the mechanism that's going to pull back the freemium Pulse coins is looking at your address. So even if you got free Pulse because you held Ethereum and then you bought Pulse, or basically we're saying you have any pulse in that account, it's going to look at that all the same. And so even if you've bought or sacrificed for pulse, it's going to look at that and it's going to take the amount of freemium ETH that it would have taken just from that, I believe.
So it'll be the address you sacrificed from, or addresses, if there's any pulse in those at all when this event happens, it's being taken.
I think it's just the freemium. So that's
the premium. So
for the
what
Ethereum that you hold.
What Maddie's saying is this: let's say you had 2 Ethereum for in your wallet sitting there, and then you get the copy, you get 2 pulse. But let's say meanwhile you sacrifice, and then you got yourself 10,000 points. Okay, so your wallet is going to say 10,002, and only the 2 gets removed because that was the original premium. Make sense?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so the sacrifice stuff is safe regardless.
Yes. Because it's your sacrifice, it's different. Like might say, that's what we gotta do. Example, only the freemium. So don't panic like, oh my god, I sacrificed from this, I gotta move. No. Only the freemium. Which means if you never had any freemium, the balance in the end is just your sacrifice balance.
Okay. I'm gonna move it anyway.
And that's how we understand it today.
That's good news.
And we make no warranties, no liabilities. Like, you have to pay attention to Richard Hart.
Yes.
We don't make the rules.
We sometimes say things
that
turn out to not be true.
You get a little bit of dust also, like kind of how they did with Matic, so that you can at least transact on the network because you need a little bit. Because the fee is going to be so low. Imagine if you have 2 pulse, right? Compared to the ratio, that's basically technically almost 2,000 in terms of like if the fee is like 0.000 whatever, that's almost like, you can do hundreds of transactions with that $2 or whatever. You know what I mean? So,
well, yeah, and that's the other effect is even if it's a small amount, people are incentivized to move their pulse, and then that gives them experience working with the network, and that forced or incentivized, even better, behavior and experience. That's going to allow people to experience what it's really about without just being able to dump on an exchange without really seeing how the product works. And that comes up to be a theme, I think, which is that not only HEX but also Pulse will change people, right? It will not just look for people who are ready to hear the good news that this crypto is better than the cryptos that came before it, but it will actually change people in order for them to come to understand that.
Exactly. And then again, Russ is right to some degree. If you don't want to take the chances, you can move it. Here's the good news. If you sacrifice from the Staker app, this is what I did. You don't have to worry about it. It's all going to be taken care of. So that's also that. But Russ has a point here. If you don't want to take a chance, you can do that. But again, the way we understand it is only the freemium. And I'm sure Richard's gonna clarify that even more. Because again, there might be some little dust premium there just for people to interact. But that's to be determined. So based on what we know right now, the freemium gets taken away. If he changes his mind, I'm sure he's going to be saying that on live stream. Yep.
Yeah, no, it's exactly as you guys stated. It even says it in the Pulse Chain site. One thing I like to correct you on, though, is that it's 25% of the transaction fee that gets burned.
Yes.
Not the token. Just to clear
that up. Absolutely. Transaction fee, 25%. It's out there. Yeah. So, and in the comment from the guy earlier, I was saying, hey, if the transaction fee equal to the 25%, right? Well, if let's say it's $10,000, because you guys making a joke, say, oh, Ethereum does million, HEX gonna be way less.
No, right? Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I was saying that's fine.
I'm just saying, not 25% of the token, but 25% of the fee.
Yes, 25% of the fee. Yes.
Right.
And the example I was using is, let's say the 25% of the fee, right? Let's say it's $10,000 in dollars.
Yeah, no, you just divide it by the price of the coin.
Exactly. And if the price of the coin is like a thousandth of a penny or lower, that's still millions and billions of coins being burned every day. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's a fact.
So the deflation is working, which is cool. So, it might take a while, but in the beginning, we could be burning a lot of the total supply, trillions or whatever. So just remember that. Very important.
Yeah, that's what it's going to be.
You don't see how effective deflation is until it's too late. The same way Wells been telling you guys for weeks, the vacuum, it looks like, oh, it's not moving, and all of a sudden it runs, and then you just suck it all up, and the next thing you know, parabola, and then it's too late. So
that's right. Literally.
Amen.
Yeah, the time window, if you're going to try and time buying the dip just after launch and all that time window is going to be so freakishly short. Good luck, but it is an opportunity.
That's it.
Amen. Thanks for the kind words in the chat. So before we move to sacrifice, Maddie, sorry, just one more time. I want people to do well. Like let's just do a recap again, repetition, right? Why we think it's good. Number one, I think safety first. If like Manny said, move your freemium if you see that necessary, just move that. But understand. First gift you got no taxable event. Don't play shenanigans. Don't be stupid. That's another money printer. You should be looking for the next delegator. Stake that joint. I don't care if you get 5%. You hear me? 5% APY or 8%. If this thing do a 40x or more, multiply the 5% by 40x also. That's how you got to think about it. It's not as good as HEX, but it's still a potential money printer. Even if it just money prints to give you enough pulse where you never having to ever pay transaction fee for your life because your staking reward pays for that. How gangster good that is. That's insane. That's a pumpermental by itself. There's no rush. Yeah. You got your stake running, everything's cool, so you get that going. Number two, the 30 days when the freemium gets removed. That's important to remember because I believe that's when the run will really go. Number three, EOS did a 40x in the bear market. To me, that's a benchmark. I'm saying minimum 40x could be more. Number four, we're going to be tracking the parabola as it runs because it's going to run. So if the parabola is not broken, hey, keep running because that's just what tokens likes to do because why not? Number five, equally important too, again, the deflationary aspect, which is related to what we're talking about. Remember that as well because we're going to be tracking those things. If you're thinking long-term, imagine you just got into HEX, you got the auto stake, and then you stake that thing for at least a year or two. Like how awesome the early people that stake day one, how awesome did they feel? How many testimonials have we seen people like, oh, wow, I just left it there and then it grows so much, right? You have that possibility too. What's the rush, okay? Most of the coin are going to be in the strong hands. Definitely Hexicans because we're going in. Like I'm going in. It's still billions of coins, okay? It's a fraction of my portfolio, but thanks to sacrifice, when you multiply by 10,000, it's going to be billions of coins. And those billions people, the big one, they're not selling. Godwell is not selling. His daily payout probably on the delegated thing is going to be so good. He's going to be set because he understands long term. So just remember all those things. My speculation is that at least 75% of the tokens are not going to move. And the 25% is going to be what's going to be dancing around. The freemium people are going to be irrelevant because they get diluted so much. If Vitalik himself can dump and it's just a $30 value, that should let you think something. Somebody right now can invest, sacrifice $30 and get the same coin as Vitalik gets when he does a 1-to-1. That's how insane this is. So it's not going to be that relevant, but I know the whales are not going to pump the price crazy until they see what their circulating supply looks like. That just makes sense. That's a mathematical fact. We're going to use about those when we talk about the next topic, but that's what I need you guys to understand. Just like the airdrop.
The whales are going to buy the dip. They're not going to FOMO.
Exactly.
There's no way.
Uniswap airdrop, they let that thing tank for a while. They didn't say anything. They waited. And then later on, they started to pump the thing like crazy because they were just buying. They were just adding to their position. And all the big whales that couldn't get in because maybe HEX price is too high, they worried about slippage, they're going to be waiting for those people to dump so they can pile in. So remember that too. Very important.
If they're not buying a dip, they're gambling, and they know that. And that's the difference between a newbie trader that's like, oh man, this is going up, I got to FOMO in, right?
Exactly.
From a professional trader's point of view, if there is no dip, no matter what the chart looks like, for the most part, if there wasn't a dip to buy in, it's just opportunity loss. I pass it by, I wait until I find a dip.
Exactly.
Right? They very seldom FOMO in.
Yes. This is why I'm saying don't get trapped thinking about market cap. It's irrelevant. If 75% plus of the coin don't move, that market cap is a waste of time. That's going to create FUD in your brain, and then you're going to be left behind. I'm telling you that right now.
Yep. The market has to be oversold before any whale. I mean, that's how they became whales, right?
Exactly.
Buying the bottom, selling the top.
Yeah. Now, is there going to be some shenanigans in the beginning? Absolutely. But again, if you extend your time preference, understand what could happen because it's that well designed. Period. Full stop. End of story. And if you felt like, oh, I didn't get to sacrifice enough, if you got wrecked yesterday, which we weren't talking about, well, guess what? Now is your chance because once the thing launch, you know what I mean? There's still people that have stakes that are ending after the launch. What do you think they're gonna do if they feel like, all right, my pulse bag is not big enough? Maybe I wanna I want to push some of that price up because it makes my PX looks also cool. Why not? Because it's path of liquidity, right? If HEX takes, Pulse takes off, then PX also value is going to go up also. So why not? So it's like you got to put all those things into consideration. And then, Hexagon, I said this all the time, true accumulation never ends. So if I start getting stupid discount on Pulse, maybe for like a month or two, maybe I don't buy Hex anymore. I just go stack some Pulse a little bit and I change. And then literally that's what I'm going to be doing every month. I just look at my thing. I'm like, which one is cheaper, PX, EX, or Pulse? And I just add to the position, I stake, and I go away. That's it.
Bang, bang.
Yeah, I just want to say for the brand new people that are watching who are just getting into crypto for the first time, expect when Pulse launches to see crazy ass shit. You put 10 grand in there, you borrowed it or whatever, you see the price drop 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 99% in the first few days or month. Don't sell for the love of God.
Don't
just be patient. Be patient. Walk away. Come back in a month. And don't borrow money to invest in the first
And honestly, it's going to be very hard.
Not financial advice.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If you were smart enough, that's going to be the next topic. If you're smart enough to sacrifice at least a lot or a good amount within that 5 days, basically, if you never got any penalties, your entry point, let me do the math for you. Your entry point right now literally is 0.0001. So imagine 30 and then a 1. That's how good of an entry you got because you got no penalty, and for every dollar you got 10,000. Like it's almost, you know how automatic market maker works. It's almost impossible for the price to some degree. I mean, anything to get this low anyway. So it's like no.
Yeah, it had to be designed to do this, exactly. And it's being done very much on purpose.
Zero, and then no matter what, within a week, it's going to be higher than it might trend near that number. But for you to quote unquote lose money in valuation, it's going to be very hard, very hard. Now, if you keep fucking around, lost money, got liquidated, get hit by penalty, then guess what? Hey, your price point is higher. Therefore, other people that got a better price point, maybe they see their account. Oh shit, I got 50%. Maybe I'm going to sell some. So you got to understand that was the reason why you shouldn't have gambled with your, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's another topic. That's the next topic. Yeah. But that's how low of an entry point you have. So once Pulse gets valuation and you see where the price is and it's not near that 0.0001, then you have no reason to sell. And then if it 10x from there, just let it ride. You know what I mean? Stake it, delegate, get some free Pulse from there, and then either add to your position or just hex style, sell the interest, restake the principal. Simple.
And here's another strategy that people could use. You could tell other people about HEX and about Pulse. You could tell them about donating to the Sens Foundation and get 75% credit, or donate directly to the Sacrifice Chamber and get 100% credit. Buying HEX first helps to pump the bags theoretically if the Sacrifice Chamber doesn't sell that HEX for a really, 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 really long time or ever, right? And so this is another way that people can participate by pumping their own bags, right? If you're sitting on the sidelines and it's down 90%, or even if it's up 300x or 3000x, there's always more that can be had by sharing the wealth and by onboarding others.
Okay, John Smith in the comment, no, you misunderstood. It's not negative 90%. 0.001 is literally your 0 point. That is your beginning.
No. Karim and I were talking about two different things at the same time. Sorry for the confusion.
Yeah, don't get confused. Right now, if you got into the sacrifice and you didn't get any penalty, your entry point minimum is 0.001, which means for you to even start to go negative, the price needs to be lower than that. And good luck, that might not even happen. So, which also means, this is how insane it is, which also means if the price just do 0.0002, that means your value just doubled. It's insane. It could literally open and then be up literally 1,000%, which is 10x. It could literally open and be 10x. But of course, like every massive green candle, it's gonna retreat, it's gonna dance, it's gonna do whatever. But if you got into the sacrifice, let me make this clear. You like that fucking VC. You're like that Coinbase guy that got in 2012 and I got 0 points, because that's what they do. Wells, I need to speak on this. That's how low of a share rate they get. They get 0.00 whatever, and they get millions of shares, and then they fucking IPO that shit and they dump it on people's head, hundreds of dollars, millions overnight, doing nothing. Now you're the VC.
Yeah.
And if you're stupid enough to sell that shit, that's on you. That's on you, nobody else. And I told you again, if you come and beg for money, I'm gonna be kind with you. I'm gonna let you know. You shouldn't have done what you did.
So just to clarify the 90% thing I was talking about, the context there was if you're invested and you see the price dropping and you didn't expect that and you're like, oh my God, just chill. Crazy things can happen in the first few days of these sorts of things. Exactly. Do not sell. 3 days later, maybe look at it again and, calculate your risk and all that kind of thing.
But why would you? You got the biggest gift. You got zero taxable.
Exactly.
Makes no sense.
Or wait until the next
Quant
gang and then check in then.
Yeah, just don't panic. Don't panic.
The easiest game plan, that's a mathematical fact, is you stake it. You get reward. Sell the reward. Like what? What's the rush? Like I don't get it. Like you stake 15 years. Well, I mean, some of you guys, my people, stake a class. We stake 15 years. Our daily payout is stupid. Right now, people are playing games. We're getting paid stupid. I mean, today was just, oh my God. Wait until we talk about this. Today was a good day. Shit. But it's like, what are you doing with your life? Delayed gratification. It's like you're saying, HEX lunch and I'm going to sell first day. That's dumb. That's dumb. This is proof of stake. The thing that Ethereum wished to be. We're already there. And you don't have to have the stupid 36 ETH and worried about building your own export. You can just delegate. I've seen it. I've experienced it when I was doing EOS. It's effortless. You literally click a button. It literally just delegate. And then you just come and watch it every day. It just grows. It's the coolest thing. It's simple. It's not going to be crazy APY. But if you sacrifice and you get millions of points, posts, even if it's 2%, that's like 2,000 posts.
And that's almost certainly going to cover all of your transaction fees from now until forever, right? Whatever they end up.
Let's do an example. Let's say your average person, really cool. Let's say you deposit $1,000 into the sacrifice phase. Okay. No, actually, no, $100. $100 to sacrifice phase. Okay. $100 multiplied by 10,000, right? That's $1 million. Everybody follow?
Not dollars.
Now you got your million posts, million points. Watch this. $100. Now you got your million points. Let's say you stake it. And let's say if I go by the metric of Ethereum from their website, they say something around 8%. That's what the proof of stake is supposed to give you. Obviously, more people join in, less. But it used to be at 12, 25%. Now it's 8%. Let's just say you get 6% APY. In the beginning, it's probably going to be higher because idiots going to be worried about trading while the staker are going to get paid. It's the same thing pre-big payday. It's the same thing people understand. Be in a pool. The earlier you're in the pool, the more you make, right? So let's say you get 6%. $1 million, 6% of that, right? What's that? 60,000, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And let's say you divide that by 10, that's 6,000. So 12 months annualized, you're getting like 6,000 to 8,000 posts per month.
164 a day. Exactly.
Now, why is that important? Let's say you learn how to delay gratification for a year, okay? I'm being nice. You might just need 6 months. Because the thing about staking is 1 day and then you can unlock it, whatever. But let's say you go for a whole year. And let's say everything plan out, which I think it will. And let's say you get a 10x, 40x, 100x. You can start doing the math. That means that's 6,000 points becomes more valuable because it's like you start getting more and more money as a multiply. If it does a 10x, 6% becomes 60%. If it does 100x, it becomes 600% on your money that you spend $100 on. That's insane. So imagine if you do $1,000. Imagine if you did $10,000. Imagine if you did more than that. The ratio gets even bigger and bigger and bigger. Why is that important? Because somebody talk about the 2.5 bonus, this and that, whatever. It's the same thing with the whales. They don't need to sell. Why would they create taxable event for themselves? It's stupid. They got too many coins. It's going to be a massive taxable event. They're literally, and they're going to be wrecked by slippage, of course. They'd rather just stake that, billions of coins. That 6% is going to be nice. They just let it ride for like a year or two. And then when the time comes, maybe they take a little bit, they sell. No big deal. Like it's so common sense to me. Why do you guys want to complicate? It's simple.
Yeah. And there's another great use for some of those funds that you're getting from the Pulse stake. Let's say we're getting 164 Pulse per day. Never mind what they're worth in dollars. Let's say the fees of the system just go crazy, and you get all the way up to like you're spending 0.05 or whatever Pulse per transaction because you're playing with some inefficiently written DApp or something or other and having a lot of fun. Well, that 164 Pulse, even if each time you do a confirmation was costing something ridiculous like 0.05 Pulse, and we know what that means. You know, we've experienced that in ETH at its peak recently. Well, that's even at crazy high fees, that's 3,200 odd, almost 3,300 transactions you get to do for free every day, just based on the interest you're getting. Yeah,
that's a fundamental. You delegate a stake and earn enough reward that you would, like I said earlier, you will never have to worry about transaction fee because you will basically pay for your transaction fee. And most of us are, again, we're not traders, so even the trader will get the stuff for free because he doesn't do that many transactions. But nonetheless, it's like you literally living stress-free. And if you let the equity grow, that's how you build wealth. And somebody asked in the comment, yes, PX.
Okay, so let's go now to WhalesOnly and Axis because I want to hear from them and make sure they're still alive.
We're alive.
We're alive.
Sometimes Karim likes to remind us that he is too.
I'm thinking we must be saying some kind of truth because Whales will be all over top of us going, now, hang on a minute.
Well, so here's the thing, right? It's just important to remember that markets do what the fuck they want to do.
That's right. You can't predict it.
So, no matter what price is in existence now, you can't really foresee what the market is going to do, but you can have an expectation of a certain level of probability of what it might do, right? So that's what people have to understand. When we're talking about markets, we're talking about probabilities and probabilities only. There is no such thing as a certainty.
Absolutely not.
I get a lot of questions. People reach out to me all the time, and I need people to understand this. What we're talking about is strictly probabilistic scenarios. Nothing else, right? Because this is all math at the end of the day. And there's a reason we fall on the right side of the line more often than not, and that's because we're letting the math provide the clarity. So if you just use math, you look back at history, you see what getting something at zero means if you just, sit your ass down and do nothing. And, the rest takes care of itself. You really don't have to do anything. Just be strategic with whatever you do because you're going to receive the probably a representation of what could be the best infrastructure in crypto for the foreseeable future because it is for the only crypto in the market. So do yourself the favor and use your brain.
Well, say that again, please. It's so important. Hex Clip, if you're watching, that's a gold right here. No, seriously, they need to hear this again.
Yeah, so just remember that what you're going to receive a cut of could potentially be, right, the top infrastructure asset for crypto because it is for the only crypto. So let's not forget that.
Let's not forget it.
You heard it first on Quant Gang. If you lose your bag a year from now, you come crying, we're going to send you to this video. No, this is important. They need to know because I'd rather they be scared and know than, oh my God, I wish I did this, did that, and then they turn into haters later. No, pay attention.
Yeah, you know what it is? You just can't control what people are going to do, unfortunately. But
you know what's funny? At least I know my people and they're watching. Take a class. The people that send me all the messages on Twitter that sacrifice, that save themselves. At least I speak for them. Because we know, and they're going to go check the facts, check the statistics, right? Quant Gang don't play games. Everything's out there. We don't take off our calls. We don't take off our Twitters. It's there for a reason.
So I have an interesting comparison, and it's kind of about how how Ethereum is kind of like it's the layer 2 to Bitcoin as layer 1. If you want to think of it kind of like that. And Pulse Chain would be kind of like an evolution to that.
Hold on. That's actually how I used to think of it back in the day. That's why I thought it was a scam because it didn't make sense. Anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I mean, all the centralized or failed versions of that are just mitigated by the simple fact that everything's kind of tied in together. And so you already have a layer 2 in Ethereum. I think it's an important point because people can transact Bitcoin on Ethereum with like wrapped Bitcoin or just some other kind of virtualized form of it. But the point here is that all these money flows will just flow between these systems. But this is just another evolution of where the value will flow because it's solving a lot of the problems that ETH2 wants to solve, but just can't politically enact and get it done. So
I'm
welcome
glad
to
you
a
brought that up
multi-chain world
because
with bridges and things.
Yeah, I think that money flows to where it's treated best, and that doesn't just include the borders of countries, but also the borders of cryptos. Hex clips, get that part. And by the way, announcement, thanks to Hodl Dog, who pointed out that some YouTube users have a new feature to where you yourself can use a tool to clip easily Quant Gang and other shows and share with everybody on the internet.
Smart. We got
awesome. Thank you to Hex Conductor for the $50 super chat. Need the best road for the best vehicle. I love that.
And Maddie, on that note, which is important, which I love what you just said. This is the reason why we're working so well as a community, as a unit, right? Everybody has their skills, and we have some really sick, awesome people in the community that knows videography, clipping, this, that. You know, Hex Clip is just one of them. Very good, because we know the knowledge will be disseminated the same way. Richard takes his time, tired. Let me remind everybody, let's do this. Free game, left and right. Like, you guys need to understand, some of these videos, I watch it 2, 3, 4, 5 times, 2x speed to make sure, like, I'm not missing anything. Because when I come on gang, this is why you guys are here. Because the content is that good. Because we're spending the time. Like, I'm working, I'm busy. Wells is busy too. Maddie's busy, but we're taking the time because we want you to understand. We want you to stay rich. That's the fucking point. So we want you to pay attention. We don't just come in just to say stuff, just to say stuff. No, because the mechanics, the math is showing us the path. This is the reason why even the traders would agree to this, because when they follow Fibonacci, this and that, it's like indirectly everybody's talking to each other through the math, understanding, okay, this is what it means. This is token economics. Let me drop one more thing that I forgot. There's still a lot of big account wallets, people, companies that may want to be validated on the Pulse chain. Because why the fuck not? When it's deflationary. And guess what? They don't have their bags yet. Like we say in Hex all the time, right? The big buyer hasn't shown up yet. What if they decide, hey, I need a sufficient stake to be part of the validator set? The same way right now, the competition. If you want to stay number one or wherever you are, you want to watch your position because somebody might come and pass you, therefore you need to add more. What if, just like in EOS, because I've seen this movie before. I've seen it. Some people will try to play the campaign and the politician and get the delegates and the vote from the community. That's cute. Some big one, the big miners, especially moving to proof of stake, especially when they've been waiting for Ethereum and it's not happening and Pulse is going to beat it, they're not going to try to talk to the community. Fuck that. They're just going to go buy the coin and then they're going to do their own thing, which is why I need you not to give away your golden goose too soon and feel stupid. It's like people selling Ethereum too early and then it goes to thousands of dollars and then you're like, oh, I was day one. And like Suzu say all the time, who cares if you're day one? You just sold? Okay, so don't talk to me. You're irrelevant.
Nice.
Those are the facts. Make sense? That's what I need you. Maddie, I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'm very like a rant today. But it's important because I see people getting wrecked for no fucking reason when all they got to do is fucking chill. Like, chill. Learn meditation or something. I don't know. Like, relax.
Yeah.
Have your dollar amount set about how much you want to sacrifice and how much you want, you know, that you're going to build up. So after it launches, maybe you want to add to your stack a little bit, or maybe you want to get more exposure to that ecosystem. So be thinking forward about that and thinking about what other cryptos might be moving quickly too, so you could even get more exposure down the road.
Exactly. And guess what? They're going to need some Pulse too. What do you think they're going to do? They're going to buy. And then you get your copy. Like the system hooked you up already with another stack. Yeah. You got another copy of Hex. What do you need to trip? You got your whole stack back. If you keep the Pulse value up, your PX value is up too. Like, it just, to me, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer.
It might be in contest for the holy trinity of crypto.
Because here's the funny joke. The first bridge, guess what? It's going to be a Pulse fucking bridge. That's what I use the analogy. Lake, ocean, going to a straw. There's not going to be many. Richard said it today. He wants to play nice. I don't know if you guys saw the interview with Ivan on Tech. Genius. He said, I'm going to play nice. I'm not trying to overload Ethereum. We're going to give one bridge. So we can funnel all the transaction over there to Pulse, and then it doesn't. But if they don't play nice, then he's going to go parallel. But What do you think that one bridge is going to be? Hello? Pulse.
Death pulse.
The deflationary thing. You kidding me? Next thing you know, Pulse chain is in the bull market. The same way Ethereum brought the bull market for the altcoin because the ETH price was in high demand. It went up in price. Guys, we have seen this movie again before. Please listen. The passion is because I care. I love you. Mwah. Don't fuck it up. Okay?
It's a cult classic.
Here's a quick story to double down again on being patient. I got into crypto. I got into the crypto tech, right? I was in it for the tech because I didn't have any money. And in mid-late 2013, and I learned a lot of things. I learned about Keynesian economics. I learned about Austrian economics. I didn't even know those were things. I thought there was only one economics. Turns out there's more than one, more than two. You know,
Yes.
I learned about game theory. I learned about game theory in in positive environments and adversary environments, and it's all very fascinating and awesome. And I've just learned so much. But there's one lesson, if I could take just one: patience. Patience, patience, patience.
Guys, I literally tweeted about it like yesterday. This is one of the because Richard's busy, right? He doesn't always like my tweets, but that's one that he liked. I literally like put it down with the wisdom. This is what you do. You chill, you relax, you stay, and then you live a beautiful life. Peaceful. Go look at the fucking tweet. He liked it for a reason. It's like, all right, I laid out the plan to the promised land. Like, we give you the GPS coordinate. We said, this is where the promised land is. And some people would say, nah, Karim, let me do a detour. Right? No, go to the promised land. Fuck. Go to the promised land first. Once you're set, then you can go explore the rest of the world, okay?
So check it out. Let's reel you in, bro, because you're just going to keep going. I haven't even sacked a damn dollar yet. And this is the way I look at it. Early adopters always get rewarded. Those are the only 5 words people really need to know. So what am I trying to say? Whether you sacrificed or not, you can't fucking lose, right? You can't lose. So the only thing you have to do is just chill out and let the market do what it's gonna do, which is catch up to you because you live in the future because you're a hexagon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit.
Love it. That's a perfect transition. I think we can start talking about the sack now,
Let's
unless
do it.
Axis, because this is going to be fun.
Yeah. So future us, were you going to continue that story, or was that the end of it? Because I know Karim got excited.
I may just be patient. Just be patient.
Ah!
See what I did there? I made it.
I saw what you did.
No, I'm done.
Yeah, please.
I'm waiting to hear.
You're right. The serious game is when Paul starts.
Yeah.
Awesome. Strategy.
Yeah.
Market. Let's go.
Perfect. All right, we need the chart. So I'm going to try one more time. If this thing starts to be buggy, I need somebody to pull the chart instead because I have some coordinate that I post up, which I think is fun to watch. But let's see if the stream starts to bug.
While you're loading that up, I'm going to hit the refresh button here.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa. 3 million just appeared out of nowhere.
Bang, bang. Maddie, can you check the wallet just for the HEX one? I love that one because I'm tracking the billion. Did we cross 3 billion yet?
Okay.
In HEX?
Yeah,
Probably
let me pull that
not.
up here.
If you pull up actually, I have it here. Let me just refresh real quick. I have it here. Boom, boom, boom. Sharing my screen right now. So, just up. Yeah, we're at 2.589, almost 2.6 billion. Chugging along. We definitely, at this pace, we're going to cross 3 billion probably in the next 3-4 days, which would be awesome. Okay, perfect.
Okay, so
now,
HEX has 2.5 billion sacrifice in HEX terms, 334 million in dollar terms.
Yes.
102 million USDC.
Yes.
And the Ether's been moving out of this address, so that's not a total count there.
Yes. Now, this is important what I'm about to go over. I want everybody to really, really understand because there's 2 games being played right now. I give the game based on the people that I represent, which are the staker class, which are not, and I repeat, are not traders. I kind of know what Wells is doing. He's playing a dangerous game, but if that's what he wants to do, that's cool. But I need you guys to understand what is going on, what I am seeing. This is not FUD. I need you to understand what I'm going to talk about. And I'm going to show you literally for free, play by play, what I've seen has happened the last 4 days, what got me to tweet what I tweeted, and what has happened. Fact. No assumption, none of that shit. Okay? So, rule number 1, as you guys know, I live by the DMI all the time, right? But guess what? Because we were doing sacrifice, I had to go to the 1 hour candle instead, because I need to see what's happening, because this show is going to end within literally 2 weeks. Okay? So I hate to go short-term time frame, but I had to figure out what is going on. And again, not to trade. I already had my sack. I was ready to go. I just need to know when to sacrifice. So let's go back to the story here from the get-go. This is what I've seen. We started here, okay? 8 cents, crazy pump. Sacrifice started. People started to run. Funny enough, we got right around here, and then the average person realized, oh, wait a minute. It's not 3 days anymore. It's 5 days, for the free stuff, because that's a big deal. Because some people thought it will run, and then, because this is our chart, and then it was about to end over here. But then again, we got a second chance, because we realized, oh, wait, we got more time. So what did the whales do? Okay, fake out. We pumped this thing again. So this is why I'm not even mad for the people who sacrificed right around here. Because why not? It was 8 cents. It went to 13 cents. Quick math. That's a nice, juicy 50+% profit. Why would you not want to sacrifice here? Shout out to Marco Ball and many other people that did around here. And I'm going to explain why. So they're locking some value here, because those who really pay attention knew that it was 5 days. And I've been in a trading chat saying many, many times, and some of you guys right now know this, that, hey, I said it 3 times. The whales are going to give you at least 1 day, 1 ride. You're going to swim with them, because they're going to want to sack this thing the right way to win. So you want to make sure you don't miss on that. So when I saw this and I knew it was 5 days, I was like, nah, that's a fake out. That's too early. It's not going to happen. So what happened? Boom. Pump this thing here, continue to run. And then I started to get worried, because we pump. But usually, let me go back here. When HEX pumps the healthy way, it's like this. Let me go back to the daily chart, sorry. This is the healthy way HEX pump that I love, right? I talk about the Amazon chart all the time. It's beautiful. 6%, 15%, 10% every day. Compounded, by the time you get here 2 weeks, it literally more than double, which is amazing. That's the healthy way. When it starts to do this bullshit, what do I think? I think this. I think big payday. And I know the motherfucking traders are in. People who are not Hexicans. They're here to make you FOMO, to make you whatever, whatever. Now, we're already in position, because we bought our HEX a long time ago. We know what's up. So I'm going to go back to 4 hour and then 1 hour. And then what do I see? Lo and behold, even though it accelerates, I'm like, okay, it's still healthy. It's cool. And then I see a massive candle all the way to 21 cents, which came out of nowhere. It was here. It was just chugging along. We didn't need to go over here. We didn't. But I know what this means. And traders knows what this means. If you're new, let me educate you. In trading, even though I'm not a trader, I know what's going on. This is called a shooting star. That's a fucking blow off top. That tells you, okay, this is the peak. Why? Because this is what the traders are going to start drawing their stupid line chart based out of, to let you know what the fuck is going on. So when I saw that, I was like, shit, that looks like a blow off top. I don't like it. But that's warning number 1. What did I do? I fucking go on Twitter. What do I say? Hey, greed is the enemy. Pay the fuck attention. You need to lock in some profit. But like Richard said all the time, I can't fucking spell it for you. Because it's like, oh, cream caused the top, this, that, whatever. No, I need you to pay attention. So let's say you did a sack here. When you got here, man, it was so nice. I caught some of it over here, 18 cents plus. It was beautiful. Then you get a second chance. Then you get a third chance. I'm like, what are you doing? Richard tell you, hey, when he fell out of the parabola, be careful, blah, 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 blah. It goes sideways. Yes, its HEX is different. Okay. Sideways, sideways. And then it fucking dumped. That's insane. And then he comes here, it retests, and you get one more fucking chance. Maddie, this is the part where I call my friend. I said, I'll beat you up to the internet if you don't sacrifice right now. Because he's sitting here, and some of them are laughing in the chat. Because
you said that you would beat him up through the internet. That is a good one. That is a good one.
Because yeah, Karim, man, no, we got the 18 cents.
I need to practice saying.
Yeah, he's like, let's go to 20. He's probably watching right now. He's like, let's go to 22 cents, man. It's gonna be nice. I'm like, bitch, what are you doing? No, No, why? Because let me do this 4-hour candle. Let me show you this. This is called a fucking anomaly on a 4-hour candle. When you get literally 6 candle green in the row, that doesn't make sense. You rarely get those. Only when it's a blow off tough. Oh, this is healthy. But green like that, what do? Ding, 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 ding. That's my say. Holy shit. That's it. That's the rising wedge. That's the fake out. That's the dead cat. And what does happen? Right around here. Warning number 4. There's a fucking, right around here, a Godwell fucking 10,000 ETH locking his value. Amazing. And right around here, 186 fucking million HEX get sacrificed. You gotta be fucking kidding me. You can't make this shit up. Probably Overwatch.
You can't make this shit up, people.
You can't make this shit. Matt, it's probably Overwatch partners and people, whatever. They locked in the value. That was the wave. That was the final wave. So literally,
that's
lightning,
what people were predicting.
Yeah, lightning strike 3 times for you. 3.
Good. Thank you to HEX Deck 16 for the $20 super chat. Matt and Karim would love to see you have Nerd Girl 007 on stream here in the future. She was such a positive influence out in Vegas. Thank you for that suggestion. Amen. And we definitely like having her in the community, and she's definitely an important part. She's welcome on the show. I want to make sure that we're doing more of a roundtable type of thing. So let's go around and find out from everybody else, what strategy have you used with Pulse? So Whales, I know multiple people asked in the chat here what your strategy was. But they want to know why, and they want the full explanation there before we move on.
Yeah, I'll go. So my thinking is this. I knew, everybody knows the first 5 days is whatever, you get a 2.5x bonus multiplier, blah, blah, blah. If that's the most that this market is going to offer at this point in time, I'm not interested. My bet is on HEX. I know HEX can do a 2.5x in fucking 2 days. I don't give a shit about 2.5x and Pulse points. So that's my thought process. That's why I'm holding on. And we're still around a little bit under the starting price for the SAC phase. So if we go to 35.50 cents, which I think we will before the end of the SAC phase, there's still 2 weeks left of 13 days, which HEX can do whatever it wants in 13 days. Then that'll be it. And if not, and I'm wrong, then that's that. It's fine with me. I mean, either way, I'm winning, so I don't really actually care.
And the other thing to add to that is for those of us that are sacrificing USD or USD coin, we're kind of in a different situation. We should, a lot of those people should have either already sacked or looking to sack soon, So
yeah, if you had USDC, you probably should have sacked already.
Yeah. Right away.
And actually, I'm glad what you just said.
But if you're in that situation, your solution is actually buying HEX on a dip, actually.
Yeah, that's the best strategy, right?
Yeah.
That's the best strategy.
But then again,
if you get it.
Exactly. But then again, that's a risky play too. That's what I use the analogy about. You guys are pros to some extent, so you know what you're doing, right?
You can always take that shit, dude. Like, I'm cool buying HEX under $1. Like, I've committed to that. So,
no, absolutely. Oh, dude, HEX is the dude. Yeah, if you
it's
like
my stable coin for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Because my thing is this,
So-
right? Obviously, HEX is the most important thing. That's a no-brainer. I mean, I sacrifice less than 1% of my portfolio because, again, I know how valuable it is. But just for sacrifice, what we're talking about for sacrifice, what I wanted to explain here was those who already did their plan, they were just worried about, hey, what's the best value to sacrifice, right? They were not looking to trade because, again, most of the time you get wrecked. Even if you're a pro, there's a chance you're going to get wrecked. But some people shouldn't be taking that unnecessary risk because it's all fun until you lose all your money, which we're going to talk about next. Or like you get way less value and then you're like, oh, wow, I wish I didn't do X, Y, and Z, right? So I was just trying to explain the reasoning behind what I see. So this is blow off top. When I saw that, I sacrificed here, 25%. Then the retest here. So I got the 18 plus. Then I got the 17.
So we're going around the room first to talk about what the strategies are of everybody, and then we can go back to the chart. So future us, you already
Axis. You got started.
Okay, Axis.
Yeah. So I don't want to like say outright what I'm doing, but I just, like I said, in my case, I'm sitting on USDC, and I basically get to choose from here. How much I want to put in USDC, or do I want to try to, DCA it in over the course of the sacrifice, or do I want to buy potential dump after the coin launches? And I think as the sacrifice goes on, you kind of get to see how big the market cap goes, and you get to see how much interest is there. And I think, at some point you're going to have to make a decision. So, but getting exposure through HEX to get price appreciation potentially, on the later days of the sacrifice is probably a good bet. And that's probably what I'll end up doing, to be honest with you. And then be looking to sack, either the gains off that coin or just, keep, and also be sacking along the way USD. So those are the kind of like the two things I'm doing. But yeah. It's different for different people because some people are pulling money and some people are not, and so it changes your dynamic depending on, how much money you're willing to sacrifice, And at this point, it's all kind of laid out, so you got a roadmap. Maddie's calling for 10 billion, and so if you're trying to compete with that, I mean, you better get your money in there.
Good luck, because your ass ain't no fucking whale, no matter how many millions you got if you get up to 10 billion, right?
Yeah, but to be fair, for his Manny's analysis, he's counting on the OA to sack. So to some logic makes sense, but again, I don't think that's going to happen.
True. Let's say the OA sack 5 billion.
He's counting on OA because OA can send this thing to 20 billion. Like no.
Let's ignore the OA. Fuck the OA. But let's say we get 2 billion. That's entirely plausible.
Yeah.
Nobody on this damn stream is relevant. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, but the point is, we're trending towards there. We are trending towards there. It's 500 plus, and then what?
That's exactly my point. The waiting is a strategy because you're going to guarantee yourself the most points in USD value if the market goes, right? Because again, it's about the rate.
If it goes up.
I respectfully disagree.
The points.
And here's why.
You already sacked, so I know you disagree. It's not
it's not that. No. I can.
No. But that's the thing, right? Like, let's say this goes back to 34. Let's say this goes to 34 cents. If it goes to 34 cents, you basically break even, right? To the 2.5 bonus multiplier.
No. Wells, you forget a very important thing. We stop penalties right now since yesterday, compounded. What you're failing to understand is you're playing a gamble, which my people don't do.
What penalties are you talking about?
You're gambling that the price is going to get to 34 cents, but you don't know when it's going to get to 34 cents. Every day you lose 5% compounded. So you can play your USD.
But you have to remember, brother, you got to remember, HEX is the opportunity. HEX is the easy.
No, I get that. But we're talking about Pulse right now. I get that. I got 99%. Dude, I got paid 12,000 plus today just in payout. I get it. HEX is the thing. We're talking about Pulse here. Pulse.
Yeah, but you got to sacrifice something to get Pulse, bro. You're just not sacrificing nothing, right? So you either sacrifice USD. But check it. You either sacrifice USDC or some other ERC20, right? So HEX is the main one that people are going to be smart enough to buy the sacrifice. Why would you buy some other bullshit?
If it keeps going down, you may not want to do that. You might want to do that.
That one isn't. But the thing about it is look at what it's done. It's already gone from 21 cents to 8 cents, 7 cents.
Yes.
Where else do you think it's going to go?
Okay, so let me finish with the chart here, and I can explain. And by the way, I'm not all 100% sacrifice. I'm 90% sacrifice. I have no problem breaking it down. I did over here. I did at 17, and I did over here again. It was like 16 and change. So now I only got 10% left. But again, mine is big amount, so I have to make sure. Now, the 10% is just for the YOLO or whatever. But what I was trying to explain was when I sold the last thing here and then the 186 million and the 10,000 ETH, that's what I tweeted. Because again, I'm not worried about me. I'm worried about the people that listen to me, that watch the Twitter, that don't want to trade, that don't know how to trade. Man, it's important. I'm putting that in context. That just want to get a good value for their sacrifice and chill. Those are the people that represent. That's why I feel like that was a win. People like Wells, people like Axis, they're kind of pros, whatever. They want to take the risk. They know what they're doing. That's fine. This is what I told Bree. I know what you're doing. You're trading. You're trying to get yes. And if you cut that dip, that's great. But the people that I'm talking to, the people that I know they don't know how to trade and they shouldn't be trading and blah, blah, blah. So, because then what happened here, because I saw a bunch of sacrifice happening over here, they got pushed all the way down here, and the TWAP was worse than the people that even sacrificed over here. This is what has happened. So I just wanted to explain the logic behind the 5-day play, because I know most people wanted to do it within that 5 days, understanding the tweets and understanding what I was seeing in the market. And typically, when this dump like this, relief rally, dumps again, there's a high chance that if it doesn't curve back up, and this is when I want to talk about the tweet earlier from Deep Catcher. He had this great tweet. This looks like the fractal of basically Bitcoin back in before, which is kind of funny. This is what he's saying. Again, take it with a grain of salt. May or may not be true. There is some validity to it. I looked at it, but there's no guarantee. Let me find it, guys. Where's that COVID dip? Oh,
Wally
right.
Soros says, I sacrificed because it was not good for my emotional state. I was
Exactly.
literally
And
looking at the
congratulations.
chart every second waiting for a pump. Not cool,
Yes.
man. I did not even sleep, so I got it over with.
So
Cool.
this is what's going on. This is what Dip Catcher is saying is happening. And I give it a little bit of validity because in a fractal term, it is kind of mimicking. So we could be seeing this play out over here. But then again, there is no guarantee. That's what I want to warn you guys. And it's not fun, it's fact. Because technically, if it doesn't bounce, it just keeps going down. And usually it can go back to retest literally back here, which will still be kind of bullish. Because if you look and zoom out on the daily, we're still looking very good. It could go all the way here, bounce around, chop, 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 chop. You lose 5% every day. This is a daily chart. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can get like washed here, and then at the last 3 days, boom. You need to understand something. Sacrifice phase is one thing. That doesn't mean HEX stop fucking trading. You need to understand that. After the sacrifice phase, we're still waiting for pulse chain for a couple weeks later. So there is no guarantee. So again, for those of you out there trading.
So Bree says, who said I was trading? I'm only making a calculated guess when
Good.
the best time to sacrifice will be relative to what I ponder is in the whales' best selfish interest.
Exactly. And let me be very clear. Bree, I am super proud of you. If you know what you're doing, good. But again, the people that listen to me, they're not traders. They don't want to trade. They don't want to get wrecked. And they shouldn't, because you don't know what might or might not happen. Because if you start to make money, like some people, trade. Like a guy, he was telling me, oh yeah, it's great. And then guess what? The freaking thing dumped yesterday. And then he sacrificed at the last minute and he got wrecked. So it's all fun. You win until you don't, and the chart does something that you don't expect. So for those of you out there thinking that it's going to do the Bitcoin thing, good for you. But if it does not, it can well just retrace, chill for a while. Let me go back to the daily chart for you to understand. We're still super bullish. It could literally wreck all the way back to 10 cents, chill here for a little bit, and we're still bullish. And then we just run. Because if you do this, people still forget. A week ago, we were right there. We're still very bullish. So the price can go all the way back here, hang around, do the 10 days, and then last minute pump. And guess what? Your 5% compounded is going to wipe you out, because if you're still holding HEX and then you lose your value, if you're trading, yeah, maybe you get the USDC. Maybe you're making successful trade. Good for you, but not everybody can do that. And the thing
Karim, question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So your advice before was to swim with the whales,
Exactly.
which is a very quotable thing. What's your observation and analysis of the fact that the God whale has not sacrificed their liquid bag yet?
A wrong assumption. That's why it's dangerous when you basically try based on what the whale's going to do. God will already took care of business. He did the 10,000 ETH. He was smart to do that because he also understood that he's sacrificing. People confuse. The ETH is only 1-to-1 if you're stupid enough to live it in your wallet and then it copy 1-to-1. If you sacrifice the ETH, it's still freaking USD value. That's what Richard said.
Correct.
It's $20 million. People get that confused. Godwell took care of business. He did the 10,000 ETH. He doesn't want you to know what's going on. He was pumping the price here, got it to there. He was thinking he was going higher. Things didn't happen. Wait for the retest. He knew this was it. That's what I tweeted. I tweeted the two things. But Richard tweeted too, 10,000 ETH for the Godwell. And the more important one was the 186 million HEX. That's even more valuable. And his picture perfect. It was done right here. I swear to God, go check the tweet. The timestamp is perfect. So he's already in. So some of you guys waiting, I am telling you, you might be waiting for no reason, because when you zoom out, we're still bullish. It could literally go all the way down here, chill for a while, and then August 3rd, whatever, then pump.
So I'm gonna read what Bree says here. Wait until the last possible moment to slam the price 100x, and I want to hear what WhalesOnly thinks about this. Wait until the last possible moment to slam the price 100x and then sacrifice it all. Whales know the plebs sold out or sacrificed already, and the whale would get an insane multiplier on their value, and then goes on to say, because remember that by multiplying the price so high by their impact, they're getting a higher quote-unquote bonus. That way, then whenever was possible through the volume or time bonus. And
Can I just jump in? I know the question was
Sure.
for whales, but I just want to quickly say I don't think any whale in this space is dumb enough to wait to the last minute in anything on the Ethereum chain, because good luck getting that transaction through. Whales, go for it.
Sure. I mean, I don't think it's necessarily the last minute, but people have to understand, just like they dumped going into the close last night of the 5th day, they can pump it going into the close of the SAC phase. It doesn't have to be the
True.
last hour or the
True.
last second. It could be the last few hours, and then it changes
Sure.
the whole picture. The whole picture could change in an instant. This is crypto. So people need to understand that first and foremost.
Yeah.
Right.
What-
So just because it's down today or it
It's
was
not
down
down.
yesterday,
No, if you zoom out daily chart, it's not down.
One of
well,
my
it's down
observations,
from where it was, though.
one of my observations is that one of the best game theories of them all is the surprise, right? When founders surprise their token holders with value, then that really changes the game, because of course the market is trying to get every little advantage. And so a true surprise, like some of the airdrops that we've seen, have created immense value.
One thing I do know is this: whales will always get you looking one way to then come fuck you up when you're not looking at the other way. And everybody's looking one way right now. Good luck to those that are looking that one way. I ain't looking that way. That's all I got to say.
Axis,
Absolutely.
let's hear from you.
He's actually away right now. He went to go get water or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
I haven't talked about my strategy.
Yeah.
My strategy's been quite dynamic. I started with just under 6 figures. Sorry, no, 5 figures that I had in US that I was going to. That was it. I was stuck. I'm not gonna. But then that became 6 figures, just sitting there because the price action we had, and I was like, oh man, what do I do now? Do I cut back to the original USD or do I just put the whole lot in? And I was like, I don't know. And then I started really thinking about, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And I started writing down and taking notes and different strategies and things that might happen, because I figured, okay, I've got no idea what's going to happen, so I should at least have some kind of idea of what to do if I see this or see that or see whatever. And then while I was doing that, I wasn't sort of doing anything else in my life, so I thought, I think what I'll do is I'll just take this 100K worth of HEX and I'll just stake it for 48 days and come back and look at it then. And so I did that, and I was like, oh, wait. Oh, crap. Oh, well, I guess that's that. I'm out.
Boom. Yeah. So you're prepared to buy the dip after the sacrifice phase and after the chain is already out. And if that's good for your mental health and you're not willing to emergency end stake your value to nothing, then that's a pretty good position to be in. I know Sinclair Crypto here. Thank you for the $25 super chat and all. You commented, I feel the further we get closer to day 19, the less sense it makes to sacrifice HEX if it's under 30 cents. I think the average HEX price from day 1 to day 5 was around 16 cents, and day 19 is $2 for 10,000 HEX points. If HEX is still under 30 cents by day 19, I think it makes sense to only sacrifice HEX if you're buying new HEX. Interesting.
Exactly. Very, very smart, because he did the quick math, because people keep forgetting it's 5% compounded every day. So by day 19, you literally, if you want to beat the guy that SAC at 17 cents, you are, again, almost gambling, wishing for the price to be higher than 34 cents. And he may be there. I'm just saying, this is why I'm happy about the people that don't trade. Because if you trade, you know what you're doing. You're probably up right now. So 5% for you is no big deal. But again, most of the viewer are not trader, and they shouldn't be, and they want to get wrecked. So securing that value is key, because the thing might just show up at the last minute. And I've said this before too, because that's how the whale can pump the price back up in a safely fashion, because he wants to keep winning in points. So he's going to keep, if he decides to pump, again, this is speculation, he can pump it on an average 5% per day. Basically do the healthy thing, which is what HEX can do, which is this right here. This is the healthy pump HEX does. Nice and steady, compounded with the 5%. We do this, we cool.
The big day capitulation pump.
Exactly. Because if the whale does that every day, he's protected, because he's only pushing the price up to the equivalent of the compensation of the penalty, so that number one, as he pushed the price up, he's buying HEX. which means he can sacrifice that. So yes, he may get penalized, but he's pushing the price up. So he's protecting himself and he's not giving unnecessary bonuses. That is the strategy. And this is what I told the little guy, you swim with the whale when he sacks, and he definitely sacked over here. So you got in, you are protected. You don't have to worry about it. And Maddie, here's the Eastern egg. Nobody has realized yet, which happens today. The cool thing is when you have, remember I used to tell people, get your strategy and dollar amount figured out and then stake the rest, right? Leave it in HEX. The cool thing is while people are trading and potentially getting wrecked, the staker class is just chilling, getting paid. Today, we got paid 9.4 plus payout per t-shirt. That's insane.
Beautiful thing.
Beautiful thing. My dream account by itself made 5-figure today. Over $12,000. One fucking day. The only day that was bigger than that was the CM day when he emergency end staked 600 million, whatever hex. So literally, the hidden gem is you're collecting penalties while people are out there trading like crazy. You're getting penalties left and right. Penalties, which by the way, I was going to get copied on the Pulse chain. It's gangster. Like Nagabo would say, you're getting 2 bitches for the price of 1.
We actually, Whales, is this a good time to show that chart that shows why penalties are such an important part?
Sure thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So in conclusion, I know the pros going to do their thing. Maddie, sorry. In conclusion, I know the pros going to do their thing, and I wish them good luck. I sincerely, because we're all set. I want people to get wrecked. That's all. But if they know what they're doing, I sincerely wish them luck. If Dipcatcher think it's going to do the Bitcoin thing, I sincerely wish them luck. Nobody likes a cheap hex. Shit, I don't like it. I like to see my account with big number. But I'm just proud for the people that don't trade, don't want to trade, that don't get wrecked. And those who listen, they're cool. I just tell you right now, sit back, enjoy the show, enjoy your penalties, because whatever you see in penalty are going to be ×2 by the time the Pulse chain launch. That's all. Maddie, back to you.
So I guess I'm the last one to go with my strategy for the Pulse sacrifice. And so what I've said on here before, which is true, is that my total liquid bag of HEX is relatively small. It's about the percentage of time that I'm going to be living out of my predicted life in the next year. So if I'm going to live 100 or more years or 50 more years, then maybe I want 1 to 2% of my HEX bags liquid so that I can kind of like, spread out the wealth over time, pay my future self, all of that really good stuff. And so so that's the amount that I'm working with now is the 1 to 2%. And I had a bigger stake come out recently as a part of my 15-year ladder. And it was, again, very difficult, very painful. It didn't feel good to send money to my future self. But what I did is I made that 16th step of the ladder. And so what I did is I preserved my T-share wealth, and that felt really good after I had already done it, right? Because then I can't reverse it. So once it was irreversible, then it felt good. I think I tried to distract myself while I was waiting for the end of the UTC day to count down before the stake was final. And of course, I was interested in upgrading my security standards from the methods that I used a year and a half ago or a year ago when I made that stake in HEX. And so I have my 16th step on my ladder, and I'm proud of that. I think that that's something that other people can consider doing if you want to be like me and to be creating that perpetual passive income type of strategy. And so remember that during this whole phase that in 15 years from now, which is 16 years into the project, you don't want to be asking yourself, what was I thinking back then? Why didn't I keep things consistent? And so with my remaining liquid HEX, then I'm also looking at, all right, so how much do I want to sacrifice? And for me, the number that felt right in the first 5 days was about 20%. And I wanted to leave a little bit of opening for the exact reasons that everybody debated tonight, that there might be a better deal at the end, although there might not be. And so for me, I did about 20% of my liquid bag already in the first 5 days. And then I've got another 5 to 10% of my liquid bag in reserve, ready to go if the price of hex moons before the end of the sacrifice phase, then I'm happy to add that to the pot, which would look pretty good in terms of points. So there it is.
Thank you. That's awesome. This is a 2-week period too. So if it's all, if you find yourself in a position as I did quite unexpectedly, that it's all just a bit too much, just remember that any amount you put in whenever you put it in, given that it's only 14 days, one perspective might be that you DCA'd and dollar cost average. So you didn't even look at the price. In other words, you just bought in. And so is it optimal? Is it not optimal? Who knows? But 2 weeks is 2 weeks. Whatever you get out of it in the end, even if you're really unlucky and you got it and you went in at the very, 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 very worst, which I do not recommend doing on purpose, of course. It's just not good. You're still a winner, compared to people who didn't sacrifice anything. And just to qualify that, I never said anything about what my wife did with her liquid hex. You're still gonna win, so don't freak out if it turns out you did the wrong thing. I mean, you're still 10,000x where you might have been otherwise. So
that's true. Maddie,
just chill.
I'm gonna make another call right now. It's gonna blow your mind. I'm telling you that the emergency penalties is still gonna be insane. This is just it's gonna continue to average, and you're gonna see why I keep saying again. The ultimate move when you consider everything combined, when you're not out there gambling, because that can be very dangerous. What you're gonna get paid on penalty, I don't care how big, small you are, it gets copied on the pulse chain. That's insane. We're gonna be doing anywhere between 7 to 8. Maybe yesterday was the big because of this mega capitulation here, but there is definitely more that's going to come. Definitely. And let me throw one more Easter egg here because now I'm throwing some extra. You think you know what the whale's gonna do? Good luck. They might pump the price, emergency end stake some shit, dump down on your head. They're paying themselves because if you keep leaving the pool, quick maths, if you keep leaving the pool and the ratio goes lower and lower, payout per T-share increases. It becomes stupid. So you think you're gonna follow them and do your trading and and they're gonna start emergency end stake sacrificing shit on you just to blow you out, get you liquidated. 50% goes to the away, but guess what? 50% goes back to them. So you don't understand how dangerous of a game you're playing. And I need to harp on that for the viewers. Richard said, don't trade. Many, many times. You're doing the thing you're not supposed to be doing. Now, I'm not hating on nobody. I'm getting paid every day. But I want to leave you with a word of wisdom before moving to another topic. The reason why people margin trades, the reason why so many people get wrecked, and it's very sad because I know some of them, is because it starts with this thought of like, oh, my bag is too small. Oh, this, that. How fast can I grow this? How can I take more risk? Did that. Next thing you know, oh, I'm gonna do a 2x, 5x. Next thing you know, you're on the line doing 100x leverage. Matty, that's important. That's behavioral thing. And that's how it gets very dangerous because HEX is just different. It moves different. So that's all I'm gonna say there. As a warning, as a word of wisdom, I wish everybody the best. If you know what you're doing and all your trades are great, but just understand that everything can be unpredictable. You could be thinking, oh, look at that, retest, come here. And then boom, what happened? Massive emergency penalty came out here and people got liquidated all the way down. The TWAP went all the way down to what? Let's see. The low was 7.8 cents. And I know a lot of people got trapped here. I was awake. I saw it. It was crazy. Crazy.
Good. So if you're not advocating for people trading, then it's all fun and games to watch the people who are and to see how the whales are acting.
I don't want to. Okay, I do want to harp on about this, but just guys, leverage trading in crypto right now is just don't do it. It's unregulated. I gotta go. It's unregulated. If the people on Wall Street running those ETFs and things, and if there's any leverage and all of that, if they were doing just half the things that we can see on the charts, and that's only a quarter of what we can see, is what we see in these crypto-based leverage trading things, they'd all be in jail or dead. Okay, that shit is so corrupt. You are gonna get burned. Don't fall into that trap. Just because they let you put $10 in, whereas Wall Street, you got to do like 10 grand or whatever. Don't fall in a trap. It is as rigged as could be, and it is corrupt. And just don't. Do not assume that the laws that protect you in the real world and trading are anywhere near that shit. They are not. You will get wrecked. I guarantee it. I gotta go. I'll be back in a minute.
Let's hear from the audience now. Food TV says, "Oh my God, I just sold my mother-in-law for $10K." And then what else? Culture Critique says, "I just put in my last bullet. Didn't want to stare at a chart for 13 days. That's good." Chester Diamond says the most common reason for early sacrifice seems to be mental wellness. Pulse Chain Hex Miller said I missed early Hex, so either way I'm going to have more Pulse than Hex. Black Wing says sacrifice phase will be a distant memory if Pulse 100Xs. Thank you very much to Hexosaurus Rex. Very cool name, very cool of you to sacrifice $50 to the channel. And if your game is playing the multipliers, consider playing the Hex USD value. Getting at least 1.75x, rough math, you need to sacrifice greater than 500K. Ask yourself, what can you do? Pony up that much USD value or play the Hex USD value game? Very interesting.
And remember, it all depends on what day you do it. People keep forgetting. There's a 5% penalty every day. Doesn't matter what coin you use. Your ratio for Pulse is going to go down. Okay, $1 for 10,000. Second day is $1 for 9,500, and it keeps compounding that all the way to the end where $1 only gives you 5,000. So you need to work twice as hard to get the same dollar value. So that's why it becomes a potential gamble. Again, wishing all the best to all the pros out there. You know who you are. Do you? Like I always say, day one. If that's your strategy, wish you luck. But everybody else, most of you watching, most of you that follow me, I told you. Maddie gave me this link. I take it very fucking serious, right? Representative of the staker class. What we do, guys, simple. We chill. We get the payout. Let the people trade. Let's see who's smart, the trader. Let them do the dance. It's okay. We're going to get payout. Guys, this is Big Payday 2.0. We've seen this movie before. They were out there doing their thing, and then the thing went down. We got massive penalty. It was insane. And guess what? We just come at the end, and then we pick up the pieces, whatever that might be. So be free, stack and chill, enjoy the payout. But yeah, just be careful with those behavior. Don't turn into a trader. But
I did not emergency end stake. If that was a question, I did not emergency end stake. I don't.
I don't recommend that. People sometimes DM me, "Oh, Karim, should I do?" No, do not do that. I would never. If you ever DM me, I don't care if it's 1 day late or 1 day before the end. I would never, ever, ever advise anybody, because it's mental health, to emergency end stake. You do you, but if you call me or ask me, "Hey, Karim, do you think I should?" I will always tell you no. I'm not an advocate of that. I don't like. Learn about staking ladder. Ask me questions about that. Learn about the ultimate strategy I talked about. If you do the 30%, you stake for 15 years, you get the max 3x bonus. It acts as if you 90% stake. You get a daily payout for the next 15 years. You build wealth. It's such a powerful move. It's mathematically like unbeatable. And then you freestyle with the 70%. If you want to go gamble, that's on you. But those are the things that you want to focus on. And then the rest, do your staking ladder. Do it good enough that you don't have to worry about emergency end stake. And if you're afraid and you don't have a lot of liquid and you don't want to like have so much stake, leave the 70% unstake and then just let it ride. So for emergency, you're good. So I always look at defensive plays that make sense, but still give you a strong alpha. That is the key. And Deep Catcher, if you're watching, I hope for you, bro. I hope for you that it does the BTC thing. I hope for you. But make no mistake, the Whales knows that game too. So it might start to go one way and then it goes another way on you. So that's, again, words of wisdom. And I'm going to leave it at that.
Yeah, it's sorry. If you do find yourself in a position where you legitimately have an emergency and the only funds that you think you have are staked, you really need to think hard and fast about trying to secure a loan, a safe loan, not a loan shark or something in the fiat world somehow. Don't rather than just emergency end staking, because you're selling a golden goose in an emergency time where maybe you're not thinking all that straight. Borrow, do whatever you have to do, not financial advice. But just in general, don't ever sell an income producing asset. There's usually another way. And the low hanging fruit, the thing that seems the most obvious and your brain goes, just do it, you've got to do it, you can't not do it, it sucks, but you've got no choice. Usually there's another way. If you've got any time to think about it at all, try to get some advice, try to find a way to leverage what you've already got without selling the asset. Can't stress that enough.
Nice.
Absolutely. And then one last right here. If you look at the DMI, again, usually it's big time frame, but we're going to play this game for temporarily. Guys, first warning, I told you, when blue goes below red, you got to worry about that. Let's go look. Watch this. It's magic almost. So 14th of January. So we were right around here. That was the first warning shot. We pumped. We got all the way here. And then people realized, oh, no, it's not 3 days. We got 5 days. So that was the fake cap. But when I saw that, I was like, okay, what's going on here? First warning. And then we bounced. So what did I do? Put a trend line on it. And then we break again over here. Where is this? 16. Let's go look in the chart. Second warning. And then, oh, the whales are so kind. They give us one more. And what happened? Bounce a little bit. And then death. And now it's cooling down. Orange just stood up. You know what this means? I told you. Now, take it with a grain of salt. DMI is more accurate when it's on bigger time frame, okay? But then again, look at the MACD. Look at what's going on. You know who you are. Look at what's going on. Prepare yourself either way. So I'm going to leave it at that, but I say things for a reason. So I look at things. I'm not trying to make them bullish or bearish or whatever. This is Quant game. This is a chart too. All the things we talked about, all the things we talk about DMI, all this other stuff. When I show you on Bitcoin, then we're calling out crazy shenanigan and it plays out. Guess what? It works on HEX too. Because Richard said it best. It said HEX used to do his own thing, which is true. And as it gets bigger and bigger and more players show up, it starts to do like stock market stuff. So you need to understand that other players are in the game right now. So all those key indicators that you come on Quant game to love that we talk about, it applies to HEX too. So just keep that in mind. But again, I wish everybody the best. I hope that Deep Catcher is right for his own good, that it's going to do, what he's going to do here. Maddie, you know why I like this? If he does this, you know what's funny? Watch this. Nagabo's going to love this. By the time he retests from where Bitcoin was, like right around 10K, it did a 6X move, right? All the way to 65K. So let's speculate about that for a second for fun. What does that mean? That means if HEX goes back to his position right around 16 cents, right? Maddie, watch this. 6X from here, that's $1. So if this is Bitcoin, because there is some.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Let's do it. You know me, I see fractals. So Deep Catcher.
Get your watermelons. Get your watermelons and get some fried chicken on standby.
He has a good point.
That's right.
Look at this chart. It looks.
I want my cornrows. That happens at 25 cents, not at $1.
So if you look at the chart, he's actually right to some degree. It plays like the fractal. Look at this, all the way here, and the dip. And then you look at HEX. It's kind of, the little 4K dip, and then we did this is the what's the name? The big Ponzi, whatever. The 14K top, sideways, dump. It actually looks similar. I ain't gonna lie. It looks similar. But then again, nobody.
14-day time frame, though,
Exactly. It's playing the Bitcoin on the 4-hour chart instead of on the daily chart, which would be insane. But then again, the funny assumption is if it plays out, that means from here, Bitcoin went from 10K to 65K. That's a 6.5x, which means if my average cost, just for fun, is 16.5 cents, 6x from here, it's $1. Do you think I'm going to be mad? No. I'm going to collect penalty all the way to $1. Yeah, you're welcome. We're chilling. We just take a class.
For sure.
Good. And
14-day. Go ahead.
So
it doesn't matter.
We're going to switch over to WhalesOnly and Access to Live doing their presentation because I want to have them on the main stage and have them be able to do their thing and thank them for premiering something new here on the show.
Nice. I'm excited to see that.
Sure, man. No problem.
And by the way,
Drum
thank you
roll,
guys
please.
for doing it. We appreciate it. Takes time. I know that.
Are you a little bit excited, Kareem? Is that what's going on? Are you finding yourself a little excited at the moment?
Listen, today I got paid a lot of hex. I'm always excited.
He has a medical condition. He has too much excitement. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Cool, let's
Roll
do it.
Roll this shit, dude.
A little disclaimer: the information displayed in this broadcast is known to cause increased amounts of FOMO. Quant Gang is not responsible for any losses you may accrue for having weak hands. You know the drill. Don't be these guys. Don't be these guys.
Was that you driving the truck?
Guy.
Were you driving the truck, Whales?
I think so. I don't remember because it was a traumatic event.
It was Bifinesse.
It was Bifinesse.
Those were all middlemen. He was stopping them.
So, oh wait, I left something on my desk.
Mexican.
Oh man. All right, so let's get into what an economy is. An economy is literally two buckets. You have a private bucket and you have a public bucket. The private bucket is literally the value creation for the economy, is what produces the GDP in essence, right? But it's just what produces it. The value of the GDP is irrelevant to an economy because an economy is falsified. If you don't know what I mean, go back to previous streams, find the information is there.
YouTube.com/WhalesOnly1.
Right. No one, just WhalesOnly.
Just WhalesOnly. In the description below, it's correct.
It's there. Right. But long story short, the bigger the public bucket gets, the less the private sector can actually produce to reinvest in itself to maintain productivity, which causes contractions in the economy and slows everything down, right? This is why socialism, communism, and things of that nature, oligarchies and things of that nature don't work because the scales are not balanced accordingly. You're crushing the value creation. So that's why it's important to understand the difference between the two buckets in the economy and how they really work at a very high level. Any other explanation is a lie, straight up. That's how the math works, period. No debate. It's simple math. If this doesn't exist, who is the government going to take from? Exactly. Moving right along. Market cap, the top 100 from the 13th of July at around the same time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. HEX was at 3.4. A day later, we jumped to 5%.
Wow.
Day after that, we changed the design here. Courtesy of, I can't remember who it was now. Somebody on Twitter gave us the idea, so I changed it up.
I love it.
Yeah. It's so true,
This
man.
is great.
It's
But
crazy.
you know what's poetic about it? As it gets bigger, the rec pie gets smaller. So we're saving them. You see?
Yep.
They become unwrecked.
We helping them out. As of tonight, it's down a little bit to 5.87%. So not even that much, considering the big move we just had. And we're still number 3 on Nomics. So all things considered, everybody needs to chill the fuck out. And it's pretty much that simple.
Very much.
Yeah. So first 583 days. Go ahead, brother.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I saw in this 15-minute chart here, we just had this huge wick to like 17 cents on the HEX USD chart. So side note, that happened, which that signals to me that we're trying to find a bottom. Even though we're gonna go probably lower here, but just FYI. Anyways, continue.
Yeah, it's all good, bro. Anybody can interject any damn time, man. It's not that serious. So on this chart, we're just looking at the first 583 days of data for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and and HEX in index form since their inception, respectively, right? So for Bitcoin, we got 930 rounding up. Ethereum is giving us a reading of 1,935 rounding up. The HEX index is down to 61,247. Oh my God. I mean, okay, you guys understand this is like 30 to 1, right? Over Ethereum in the first 500 days. Like, there's a reason I'm laughing. Keep up.
All I see every time you show this part, all I see is the expanding divergence between the orange line and the other two lines. It's just amazing,
Isn't it?
Wow.
Isn't it? T-shares index at 112,987. I mean, these are just ridiculous numbers, and these are on a damn pullback, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I'm about to choke to death over here.
Man,
It's
I mean, it was a
laughable
brutal
because
pullback.
you just don't see it with this
Oh,
kind of
man.
consistency on any
Yeah.
time frame, anytime, anywhere in the past.
Nowhere.
You know? Unless it's going down. You've seen that before in every
Right.
market. But
Right.
yeah,
right.
yeah.
I mean, this is just phenomenal activity, right? And again, it's just lends credence to this trend line, right? And this is really what it's all about, right? When we're talking about HEX, it's about maintaining your position for as long as possible, right? And specifically in T-share form, because note, this index, this trend line, excuse me, is for the T-share index. It's not even for the HEX price. And there's a very, very good reason for that. And we talk about it all the time. And we'll get to it because it always comes up anyway. So we'll keep it moving. Post big payday chart. We're at day 245. And we're down to 2,562 rounding up on the index for HEX, obliterating the first, second, and third halvings to the tune of 240, 1,300, 450% respectively between each one. I mean, this is just, killing them softly, man. I mean, look at this.
Yes.
In and out so fast they don't even know it's happening.
And
It has to fall pretty far to even give those a chance,
I mean, I think we have to go back to at least 3 cents to even get back to where Bitcoin is. Nah, I'm lying. More like 2.5, maybe. Just to get back to where
like
Bitcoin
it makes very much sense.
No, why would it? Has zero reason to get there, right?
And the bid is there. That wick today was like 50%.
Yo, shout out to X Scoop in Dubai. I love Dubai. Can't wait to do a meetup over there. It's gonna be gangster.
Oh, that would be
Hell yeah.
baller.
Yeah, because
Jump
that's
out of a
already
plane.
a lot of people are already talking about that one. So don't worry, we coming out there. We coming out to Dubai to take over.
I'm
too.
excited for that.
Oh yeah, it's coming. So
I've only seen the pictures, but Dubai looks like Vegas
Oh.
on steroids without all the gambling and bullshit.
yeah, I've
For the
been,
most
bro.
part.
I've been, and it's a phenomenal place. It's a phenomenal place.
I'll bet.
All right. So let's keep it moving. All
Hold
right.
on, Wells. Sorry,
Look.
I'm gonna address something real quick in the chat, and then shout out to everybody. Where is it? Yeah, Liberty. Yo, you need to chill, bro. Like, there's no need to be salty. Okay, if you don't want to listen, that's fine. Do you? I know some other people want to listen. They ask me questions. They follow me on Twitter for a reason. They're not traders, and I just give my best analysis for free. So don't be disrespectful. Okay, so. No need to project. Like, enough. I don't need this garbage. So
Correct.
like, no, this is like I turned the kind mode. Like, I'm doing this shit for fucking free, and there's people that actually care for that. They don't want to trade. If you want to trade and you win, good for you. But some people get wrecked. They chose HEX for a fucking reason. They come here for a reason. They come to see Maddie for a reason. Everybody takes time here for free. Sometime until 5 a.m. in the morning. So don't be fucking disrespectful. Okay? So enough with that shit. Sorry about
And I
that.
back up everybody on this stream.
Excuse me. Sorry, guys.
All good, brother. You're just maintaining your level of respect. Ain't nothing to apologize for with that one. So it is what it is. Drama.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's just keep it respectful, guys. You know what I mean? If you don't like it, just shut it off, yo. It's all good. You can replay, rewind, fast forward later, whatever. So now we're looking at T-shares to Ethereum and T-shares to Bitcoin. T-shares to Ethereum is at 137, almost 138%. I mean, this shit is just crazy. T-shares to Bitcoin, 8.25%. And this is just T-shares doing what they do best, which is just maintaining value. And that's what it's all about, right? It's just about maintaining value consistently. right?
Yeah, we're still holding one T-share is more than one ETH, so that's pretty substantial, right?
Correct.
We're almost 10% of a Bitcoin. Bitcoin
Almost.
Wow.
slips. If Bitcoin slips to 20K, that we'll be making some gains on it.
Yeah, it's gonna be greater than 10%
In
of the
T-share
20K.
terms.
Yeah, it's gonna be greater than 10%.
Nice. And if we get that 6x move, man, whew, whew.
Oh, it's gonna be
Maddie,
crazy,
you know how
bro.
flipping works, right? When it gets really close, it starts to accelerate. If people
Yeah,
see it
because
possible,
it's a statistical arbitrage.
Yeah.
So the numbers are just gonna play out that way. It's gonna rip.
yo, well, actually, I'm gonna be just throwing money in there just for fun. Go touch it. It's gonna
Ain't no reason not to. Shoot.
We're gonna wick this thing just to make a tweet.
I hope those coin market cap people have registered capitulation.com.
Well, speaking of, Whales and I were talking earlier kind of about the whole, what are we going to do for like a new market ranking site for thousands of new tokens on Pulse? Do you think
Nomics
that,
said they have it covered.
Forknomics.
Oh, no kidding.
That's what I
Nomics
heard.
is going to cover them all. Wow, that's awesome.
Smart.
Wow.
And Rich is gonna bring them the view. I'm telling you, they can take over coin market cap. Seriously, if we keep pushing the way we push.
Nomics.com, everybody,
Yep.
if you haven't heard. I'm
Because
sure most
imagine
of you
the Pulse chain take off, right? And then now the whole ecosystem is in the bull market. Guess what? People want to know about those quote unquote new coins on Pulse chain, right? Where do you think they're gonna go? The only place that listed. Haha, Nomics.
See, Nomics are serious about what they're doing. They're true analysts.
They're
They're
betting
in
on
it for
Richard.
facts. They're in it for accurate data. They're in it for being the premier supplier of accurate data in the space. Apparently, CoinMarketCap is doing something different. So,
To say the least.
That was a good one, bro.
I don't know, man. Some
So
things in this world you just can't
understated.
understand.
So understated. Oh my god, it killed me. I'm sorry.
I'm here for the laughs.
You got me on that one, bro. Wow. That was
Carry on.
hilarious. That was hilarious. I'm sorry.
When you catch your breath, yeah.
Yeah. That was good. That was good. All right, so here we got the dynamic stock to flow tracker for HEX. And what we're tracking here is the dollar cost of a T-share versus the dollar cost of 10,000 HEX, which when divided respectively gives us a T-share rate. And we also have the APY here at 62.59% for today. The dollar cost of a T-share is $2,458.52. The dollar cost for 10,000 HEX is $1,331.51, which yield a T-share rate of 18,464. So again, this is a leading indicator. We're currently at like 18,000. Let me see. I think 18,282. So yeah, those short stakes, man, they're not playing games. And then on top of that, you have all this emergency end staking too. So, this party's just getting started, man. Just getting started. So prepare yourself and prepare your pockets because this thing has got nowhere else to go. And it ain't down. So here we go again. HEX index 61,247, right? Sum line, payout per T-share sum line at a whopping 2,385 HEX per T-share since inception, right? And as we all know, price loves to gyrate around this line because fair value. So anytime it goes low, there's only one thing to do, and it ain't.
The fun thing about this acceleration too is that as the payout per T-share gets bigger and bigger, the sum also is going to start to accelerate, right? Because the addition is a bigger number, right? So the yellow line is going to start curving at a faster pace, doing exponential. So the red line has to catch up, like Will said. So we're going to have crazier pumps in ratio-wise because it will just go so high. That's how we're going to have to go log again, right? Because it will just make the number look so small. So that's exciting to watch.
Yeah, when we hit that point where the total T-share pool starts to contract, which it has to do, that's when you're going to see this line just start to curve upwards and upwards and upwards, and as if it weren't good enough already, right, Wales? I mean, mind blowing.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, right? Because we see HEX just do the same thing over and over.
Yep.
And it's like nobody sees it. Like all it does is take a dip and rip.
Boom, boom.
So that's it.
And the vacuum is getting smaller and smaller. So
Every day.
look at this spike. Look at this spike.
Every day.
You should have stayed
the-
today, huh? You got paid.
That's
You know,
right.
the true power, in my opinion, now, after all this time in HEX, is the gap between understanding it enough that you can believe in what it's actually doing versus not. It is, in fact, time. Richard's not joking when he says he monetized delayed gratification. And that comes in terms of monetary profit, yes. But it also comes in terms of understanding just how important the stretching out of time is and all the things that it does. It's incredibly powerful. And
Absolutely. It's the constant battle between smart and wisdom. If you're not careful, the smarter you are, you become, the more you're like, oh yeah, I can do whatever, and then boom. And then when you look back at it, wait a minute. The same way we're talking about, like Wells perfectly said last week about there's only one crypto, right? Don't confuse with the promised coin. You need to remember that wisdom.
Yes.
Because guess what? We're going to be successful. Pulse Chain is going to do very well. The scammers are going to come. Make no mistake. Oh, yeah, because you're the target. You're the rich Hexican. They're going, oh, look at my project. You should be like, hey, how do I get here? Okay, finished product only, period. Because we know Richard high standard. We know Richard obviously likes to launch and finish. If you're not careful, you don't apply those things, you forget because you got all this money. You think you're smart now, you lose the wisdom, and then you get wrecked. Somebody steals your money. You invest into a shitty project, whatever. Because at the end of the day, Pulse Chain is going to be decentralized. We're not going to be able to block all the scammers. You guys need to know that. So you need to protect yourself.
Oh, no.
Protect your community and understand the basic things because it's already laid out. Like no promised coins, right? I'm just saying that.
Yep.
Yeah. And when you're doing your research, when the bug gets you and you start researching HEX and you really want to get down and understand how can it do what it does, if you're trying to figure it out on a day-by-day basis or just looking at a formula, you won't get it. You have to take the time component into account, and it's hard. Our brains aren't sort of made to do that on the fly a lot of the time, but trust me, you'll love it when you do.
Correct. Super good points, guys.
Cool. So this line here, the pink line, is payout for T-share sum index line. And this is giving us a reading of 217,098. Well, 99 rounding up. And if you want to get the return, you just subtract 100. So 216,999 rounding up. And this is the payout for T-share index. And as you guys know, we've had a ton of emergency and stakes. And this is driving up all of these sells and all of these payout for T-share increases. And then we also have the daily payout index jumping up to 28,000 when it's usually at 17. Low 18,000s on a nice spike, right? 16,000 sometimes. I mean, this is clearly abnormal. And here's another view, right? A little closer. And as we can see, total T-shares is pretty much the same. So it's clearly emergency and staking. Because
stakers are getting paid.
Stakers are getting paid, man. You know, and this is showing us that daily payout at a whopping 103.8 million hex a day. Yeah, giving us a
we crossed 100 mil.
Yeah.
What? I didn't know. Like in the 80s or something. Holy cow.
Yeah. This is some serious fuel right here.
Yeah, this fuels our desire to make a new
because I keep
chart.
thinking about the time with CM, because with CM we got a 13 dot, but then there was less T-share in the pool, so the ratio was skewed because it wasn't 100 million hex that day that was in the payout. That makes sense now because we're a bigger pool. So to get to that 9, almost 10, you need more hex. Oh wow!
Yeah, it was a lot of hex, bro. A whole lot of hex. And you know, I mean, to get 9.5 hex per T-shirt, this is the second highest read across the board outside of the total T-shirts. This is the second highest read for both of these figures across the board. So banner day. Now this is a new chart that I made here. Payout per T-shirt averages over time since inception. I have a 28-day, right? That breaks out 7 days per, 7 days for a week, so a month. And here we have 55 because that's my favorite long-term number. And here we have the all-time average. This is just giving you the average for every single payout T-shirt you've had over time.
Genius.
And look at what we've seen since really the past, 10 days, a week, right? This is what the spike has been. And we're just getting an average over the 28 days of 6.81 hex per T-shirt. Now, that's pretty sick.
This chart's going to start looking really sick when we get into contraction, because the 28-day average is just going to be forever pulling away from the 55-day average. Just,
I mean, look at
Absolutely. And for everybody watching, in simple way, what Wells is saying here is that the value proposition of your T-share is getting better literally by the day, because those are the ones paying you that payout. So if the payout is trending upward at a faster pace, the average also will be dragged up, right? Because, it started at New Zealand, I saw 4. There's a lot of days where we're getting 2, 3, 4, or 5. So it takes a while for the big average to go up. But the trend is clear. That tells you that T-shares are getting more expensive because they start to yield at a higher clip based on this trend. So remember what the product does, right? The value proposition. And the coin HEX value also is going up. So that should tell you something too. So, but yeah. Amazing.
Yeah, this is pretty much big payday. This is pretty much big payday around here. So this is what these spikes and gyrations are about right here. But yeah, I figured it'd be interesting to look at what's happening right now with the Papa T-shirt, because it's just, as we can see, jumping, right? I mean, it was boring for a long time. Yeah, it was boring for a long time, but now it's interesting, right? So let's take a look at that bad boy.
See, while we're looking at all these charts, I'm just conscious again that there may be some newcomers who like me back in 2013 just thought I knew how economics worked and didn't have a clue. The question comes along, well, okay, so there's all this math, and I think I understand how the contract works, but why does the price in USD go up? Why? What's the mechanics of that? It's actually really simple. Yeah. More people want this stuff than is available to buy at any given time, and so the price goes up. End of story. Why do they want it more? Because more people are learning how it works.
They're chasing yield.
And they're locking it for a real long time.
And they're locking
the real way, not the fake way.
Which is why it becomes more scarce. But the more you learn about it and the more you see that it's not a scam, which is, let's face it, that's a lot of people come into it. Like, I thought this thing was a scam. Maybe I'll have a look at it now, right? The more people that learn that, and we're not even viral. When we go viral, that's a whole nother wave of people that are just getting in to just get in, right? FOMOing in. But even without that, the price goes up because people look at it, they look at it seriously, and even if it's trading sideways for a while, they lock up and start telling people, hey, this thing's got something. And so the general knowledge, the expanding community starts to learn something that they didn't know before, and knowledge is power. Literally. Yes. And so the value is there. And that's the value. So there's the mathematical value proposition, and then there's just I get it now. Mm-hmm. It wasn't valuable to me. Now it is. And now I'm going to go tell other people why it is.
Correct.
There's that as well. That's why the price goes up. There's no other reason. There's no trickery involved. There's no nonsense. And it's all transparent. We can see all of it on chain, unlike any other centralized exchange.
What I love about this chart,
it's so magical. It's so magical. The whole thing, when you zoom back out and you have a look at the entire thing and where this technology has come and how it's evolved and how it's been put together in HEX and Pulse going forward, it's really something to marvel at. You just welcome to the ride. The more you learn, the more you're going to love it. Mm-hmm. You will.
For sure.
You will.
And what I love about this chart is that it does this beautiful visualization. Again, shout out to Wells and Axis. It's like when we used to go to HEX and show, look, the payout is increasing. With that. Now it's literally a chart. So you get to see the effect of the 3.69 inflation, the trending upward, but also you see how the time when it went sideways for a while, the mathematical thing that's happening is that although the inflation growing at 3.69, but the growth of user is also increasing at a similar pace. So the new T-shares are compensating for the rising inflation. That's why it's stagnant. But then the moment people start emergency end stake, the moment those contracts, boom, then it breaks out again in a new bull market. This is how we go to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 payout per T-share over the years, because it's going to keep trending deflationary. And this is going to be a beautiful chart, literally, because it's, Wells, correct me if I'm wrong, you plotted all the payouts, right? Pretty much since inception.
Yeah.
And it's just amazing because now we used to go to HEX and try to see a trend. You literally have a chart now.
Yep.
So I think this has been an amazing show, and I want to continue it for another 20 minutes because I want to give people a good 60 minutes to like think carefully about what they want to do with the sacrifice phase before the day ticks over to another 5% more expensive points. So if that's okay with everybody else, this is a fantastic discussion, and so I want to make sure we can continue for another 20 minutes.
Sure. We're almost done. We're getting to the expiring share chart. And let's see. So we're just gonna start.
One other comment for the last chart. Just a simple, beautiful comment. This chart tells a story.
Mm-hmm.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, sure does.
That's the story.
Very good one. A very good one.
Can't make this shit up.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I mean, this is value once again, right? Maybe I should throw a price of HEX on here somewhere, see what it looks like on it. I mean,
you should, because over time, if you wanted to project this out, you would see more emergency end stakes the higher the price goes. Quicker it goes there. So.
And put a little jet logo on it on the corner.
Hello, jet emoji.
Little emoji, right? Maddie sending some cool little.
This is another emergent property of HEX that Richard Hart himself admitted he did not predict for there to be so many emergency end stakes in the beginning for people to be able to stake longer in the system. I mean, there are many emergent properties. He's listed mental health as one of the emergent properties of HEX that he didn't plan for. So there's so many things. Richard, being a genius and a mastermind, he really designed HEX to be better than every other cryptocurrency, and it is, and we can tell that by its design and by its properties. And then on top of that, there are all these emergent properties beyond what he designed. So that's really cool.
And let's just, again, zoom out a little bit and remember, again, for people that are new to all of this, this thing we call HEX, what it is a thing called immutable. It's never existed before in the financial, realms of the world. Every other investment that you've ever been able to make, the possible exception of real estate maybe, and Wales could correct me on that, but generally speaking, you're relying on other people, if not to do the right things to keep the price up, then to at least keep the machine going. That is the engine by which that investment operates. And these things fall apart, they get changed, new board members come in, no, we're going to tweak it, and so you don't ever really know what you've got, and you have to be on the ball with a smart contract. Yeah, and whether things, I mean, count them down, right? Enron and all that. Mm-hmm. But HEX cannot be changed. It's kind of hard to conceptualize when you don't understand how that can be true, but it probabilistically is so close to 100% true. It's not even worth arguing. The mathematics that drives this thing cannot be changed. There is no human alive, even its creator, who can tweak it and go, you know what, I should have done this or should have done that, I'm going to change it. He may create another one if there were a reason to do so, but who knows how that will do. This thing is unchangeable. It does what it does, it won't be changed, and it doesn't rely on any small group, large group, single human to keep that as a fact. And that's proper DeFi. That's how it's supposed to be. And when you know that, believing it's another thing. It is another thing. It's a hard call, because it's never existed in the history of man, an unchangeable financial situation.
That's from a technical point of view, and we also know that blockchains, including Bitcoin and including HEX, are socially enforced networks. The difference here, that I think I can back up what you're saying about the immutability of HEX, is that even if you came along and made something else that's immutable, you already have the critical mass of people in HEX, of people who understand what it is. And so something else, I believe it would be hard for that to compete, because because anybody who understands HEX or its competitor will want to be in HEX because it has the most other people who already understand it. Right?
Yeah, for sure. But and again, you'll hear people telling you that Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the rest of it are the same sort of thing, right? You can't change it, you can't corrupt it because it's fully decentralized and all the rest of it. it's not true. It can be changed because people still write code. It does take consensus, right? So all of the developers and then the market as a whole decides if there is a change, like a hard fork or something, which way they're going to go and all that kind of thing. Maybe that'll play out really good. It probably will. But at the end of the day, it's not.
It's a promise.
It may be difficult to change. Yeah, it's a promise coin, right? It may be difficult to change and mess up. It may be too hard to change if we figure we've stuffed something up. We've seen that happen with Bitcoin, and
I feel like this is like a categorization error. So HEX is financial, DeFi, crypto tech, and everything else was just like different tools to support that ecosystem.
True.
So I think like people need to revalue the whole system.
Yeah,
and I don't know.
It's hard to. It's not a natural assumption to see, quote unquote, yet another ERC20 contract hit the Ethereum network and go, wait, this is really, really different. What do you mean this has never existed before? There's tons of ERC20 contracts that do all kinds of crazy things. True, but A, they're not designed with fundamentals in mind, and B, they have admin keys. A lot of them, almost all of them have a kill switch so that they can just, create a new version of it, kill the old one, grandfather, just all that kind of
programmed
thing.
in.
HEX has none of that. HEX has none of that. It is. There are no admin keys. There is nothing that can be done. Even if it turns out that what it's doing turns out to, by some crazy act of fate, to be bad for humanity, which is laughable, it still can't be changed. It's not changing ever. And that's, you can take that to the bank. When have you ever been able to do that? It does what it does.
Facts.
Sorry, I mean, I harp on about it, but it's so hard to believe and so hard to get your head around because name anything else in the universe that doesn't change in unexpected ways,
Yeah, no, it's very important actually. So no need to be sorry because it's critical. This is why we can literally jump on the stream and speak about HEX the way that we do is because of that certainty, right? And in what we're saying, there is no there's a reason, right, that we can forecast a lot of the things that we forecast is because, well, guess what? That's how it works, right? And that's how it's designed to work. So you can't you can't really obfuscate that, right? Like that's just what it is. So,
the things that would have to come to pass to make it so that it didn't work anymore. If even the thought of something that extreme happened, trust me, money will be your very last concern.
Correct.
Well,
yeah.
Big time. So, yeah. Sorry, I was actually doing something on this chart here. Anyways, all right, let's keep going. Aspiring shares chart. So this is going back to the 11th. It's about 9 days ago, and as you guys can see, we're about 45%. August was pretty much flat down here, right? Not much going on. Same deal here, about 46%. August is about 30%, it looks like there. And then on the 18th, we got a nice little drop here, meaning stakes are ending. And then we have a nice little pickup here in August. And for the night, it's pretty much the same, interestingly enough, even though we had so many mercy on stakes over the past 48 hours. The percentage is still, which is interesting, right, when you think about it, because you've had so many get out. And that's just like, wow, where the hell is this T-shirt rate about to go? Where the hell is this price about to go? That's what that makes me think, because we only got 10 days left in July, and it's still at 40%.
Wow.
So,
name another crypto where when a group of people get together and panic, an emergency end stake and sell, another group of people we call stakers in HEX get their bags pumped. Name one other crypto where that happens.
nowhere.
Everywhere else, when people emergency end stake and sell, everybody goes down with them.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Superior game theory. Period. Shout out to Richard.
Mm-hmm.
Say less.
Hell yeah.
All about that game theory, folks. That's why we talk about it constantly, and that's why we talk about staking long. I mean, it's gonna be a whole lot of emergency end stays going in my bag. So thank you for your service, quote unquote, Mr. Hodl Dog.
Yes.
Bang,
For
bang.
sure. Yeah. Keep them coming, baby. Keep them coming. All right. So here we got the all-time HEX versus ETH and HEX versus BTC correlation charts. And what we got here is the HEX on the x-axis, HEX on the x-axis, where Ethereum and Bitcoin are on the y-axis. And the most important thing to note is that two things. Number one, this is an XY plot of the returns. That's why we note that HEX is on the Y, Bitcoin and Ethereum, HEX is on the x-axis, and BTC and ETH are on the y-axis. And the XY plots denote where they lie within these quadrants, right? Even though it's just half of a full 4-quadrant chart. But as you can see, HEX is primarily on the right side of the zero axis, on the x-axis, which is its respective axis, whereas Bitcoin and Ethereum are sloppily all over the place on the y-axis. So this is critical because any professional investor is going to give this an eye and be like, okay, this is an easy decision, and they're going to keep moving. Not much else to talk about.
Well, just go back one more. I just noticed something I haven't noticed before on the Ethereum one, or even a little bit there, but even more so. Look, it's dropping below. That main clump in the middle for Ethereum is actually coming down below the purple line now.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So
what are you gonna do? Majority of the data points are down there. Is basically what he's trying to say.
Yeah. So I mean, that's showing the weight of the downtrend that we're seeing, isn't it?
Yeah. Well,
that it's starting to accumulate down there.
Yeah. Yeah, because this is only during HEX's existence, right? So these data points aren't covering all of Ethereum's time frame. So versus HEX is really underperforming significantly. Like it's very, very bad. It's not a good look. Maybe I can pull those charts up real quick before we gotta hop. But as always, the correlation is 0. That's what the R2 is letting us know. Correlation is 0. And here we have the roller correlations for the dollar cost of a T-share to the dollar cost of HEX. And as always, the correlation is 99.97. It's very strong. So it's only a matter of time before T-shares just yank this bad boy back up. And here again, we have the dollar terms for the payout per T-share, the price of HEX, and the adjusted value of HEX, which is just the sum of HEX plus the payout for T-share for the respective point in time, which is today. So we got a 13.31 cent reading at crossover today with a respective 9.4, I don't even know what it was, 5.9 or 9.5, whatever it was, 9.5 HEX per T-share, which gives us a payout per T-share of $1.25.
Look at that divergence. How often do we get to see divergence between those lines right at the end there? That's so bullish, man.
Never.
That's crazy.
Never. Look at this chart. Never. This is like the only time. Like at the beginning is like the only time.
Yeah, this was a big deal today. Yeah.
Yeah, this is huge. There's nothing bearish about this.
This is your North Star chart right here for HEX.
Amen.
Yeah, like.
And you're getting the free money from the emergency penalty. This is why the chart has to diverge, because this new money coming in, the source of income you thought was not relevant is starting to pay you very, very big, because we're getting outside the return by a factor of 25%, because we were trending around 6 or 5.7. Now we're getting 9+. That's an outsized return. We're supposed to get those in the distant future, but we're getting those now because people are emergency end state. That's what diversion is showing you, that this is not supposed to happen, yet it's happening. So it's part of the fundamentals. Don't discount that.
I mean, for price to go down and for the future value to go up like this, I mean, this is going to be a major drag, right, on price in the near future, because that's just how it works. I mean,
because it will go back up there to catch it.
It's going to have to.
And I think Sherry went up today too, right? I haven't checked.
18,200 and what was it? Hold on, because I had it up over here. 18,282.
nice. It's still trending that nice 20 to 25
Yeah.
every day.
Yeah,
Again,
I mean, the jump
perspective.
was 3 hex on this one, but before that, it had jumped from Jesus. It had been jumping every day, like 2, 3, 4 times a day.
Easy. Sometimes it goes by 100 points, sometimes 50. And
Yeah.
again, for people who are new watching, if hex is $1, that means the cost of a T-share is averaging $25 to $50 a day, sometimes $100. So it's going to catch up to the Bitcoin price before you can even blink. And when we keep multiplying, this is T-share acceleration. You're watching it live. 50 points used to be a joke when we were a penny. Well, now it's accelerating now 13 times faster because we have 13 cents. When we get to a dollar compared to a penny, it accelerates 100 times faster. What if it happened when hex is $2, $5, $10, and we're still doing accelerated share rate? What do you think is going to happen? Maddie's right. You might see 6-figure T-share before you know what's going on. And then you'll be like, oh my God, my T-share. Because if T-share goes to 6 figures, your daily payout is going to be stupid. It's just going to be so stupid. You're going to be like, dude, I don't know what to do with myself. You're going to have to come to therapy life every time, every day. You're going to be like, this payout.
It's too good.
What's interesting with this other thing with the potential price movement and the T-share price going up, if there's a lot of full term stakes coming out soon, I haven't looked, but it could be that the T-share price spikes a little bit, which would close the divergence, put it back into convergence before dragging the price down. That's quite possible as well.
But if the emergency
that'll be
penalty
interesting.
keeps happening, it might just stay there for a little bit.
It'll just keep diverging, yeah.
But
it'd be really cool if the T-share price could just hit one little spike just magically to close it before it starts to converge again. That'd be awesome. Anyway.
Holy shit, Bree. Yeah, send it to 300. I'll be here. Don't worry. I'm going to be watching Hex Therapy Live. I'm going to be here. Send it to 300. People are going to be like, Richard, too much gains. I can't handle it no more. I'm sending money to my wallet. It's going to be crazy. Oh, man. Thank you, class. I love you guys. Let's keep getting paid.
And that brings up a point. I guess I'll just go ahead and say now that Blaze and I are doing a stream this weekend on Saturday.
Nice.
And I'll be doing a stream, of course, every Thursday. So that'll be in a couple days here. One of the topics that I want to explore this week in Hex Therapy has to do with imposter syndrome, which is one of the facets of sudden wealth syndrome.
Oh, that's like me. That's like me. I come on here, I'm a nobody, and more facts, and listen to me. Don't do that. I am an imposter, big time. But it's fun, right? I'm just saying it the way I see it, but don't be thinking that I got 20 years of financial advice and I actually know what I'm talking about. I'm just here to enjoy myself, right?
You're a community member and we love you. We love you.
Yeah, but I mean, that's it, right? That's imposter syndrome right there.
It's not, because you know your identity. You know who you are. Imposter is more like you act like something that
you're speaking from experience, right?
Well, yeah, but I feel like an imposter because I didn't have the audience and now I do. And I don't feel like I deserve it, right? I think that's what imposter syndrome's really more about. Go, Maddie.
Yeah, there are lots of parts to it, right? There's guilt. There's not feeling like you deserve it. There's pretending to be somebody else. There's doing power struggles. There's all kinds of behaviors that come out of not feeling like yourself, not feeling like you deserve something, being in shock kind of turns off your prefrontal cortex. And so that's why
we'll make sense of a world that you just didn't see coming.
We will make sense of it the best that we can and try to give everybody the strongest hands that they need.
And that's the power of community, you see, because we see your value. We genuinely appreciate your value. So that's why we want you here with us. You see what I'm saying? And this is something I remember when I first started doing my sales and I started to get a little bit better. I was like, the same thing. Oh, do I deserve this, this and that? And then other people that were already up there, right? They pull me in and say, no, dude, you're on the right path. You're doing the right thing. You're putting the work. You're going to get there. Get used to it. It's going to get better. And then also, they were also kind enough to teach me the rope. Don't get finesse. Be careful. Yeah. Some people will try and take advantage. So So as long as you have the right tool, the right community, the right people to go to, and just internalize
community is everything. Community is everything. I mean, just the fact that there's not just me here, but there's Maddie and Karim and Axis and Wales. You know, you can keep the new guy in check. I'm only just starting with this, and I'm so excited about what I've learned that I never even knew I needed to learn. But at the end of the day, you know, I can run away and get excited and think I know stuff that, you know, and it's just so awesome to know that I'm in the company of people that have gone before and can just, you know, keep me on the straight and narrow. That I love being in that space. What better space could there be if you're a truth seeker, you know?
Amen.
Well put.
Amen.
And so there, you know, don't want to give away all the secrets before Thursday when everybody can come watch the show. And
don't worry, I'll be there. I'll tell you where it's at. I know everything.
Very helpful for everybody to weigh in because we all do have different experiences. And Wales, what's your experience here with the HEX price to earnings ratio?
So this is phenomenal. It's never been this cheap before. I never ever expected it to get this cheap. I mean, 10.5% is crazy.
Crazy.
What?
So
people watching, the lower this goes, the more valuable, more payout you get.
Yeah, the more you're getting, the more you're getting. So today was insane.
What?
So days like today are the kind of days you pray for.
Highway robbery.
This is amazing.
Yeah. Yes.
Whoa.
Yes, because the whole thing is this. You got to think about this.
It's like a company actually bringing in a bunch more profit, and then you're getting paid directly.
Correct. This is exactly right. You got to think about it backwards. This is a metric that is letting you know how quickly you're going to get your money back once you invest it. The lower the value, the better off you are in terms of making the investment. So this means you might want to buy ASAP, right? Because we've had a dip in price plus an increase in the allocation per T-share in terms of a payout. I mean, it's crazy, man. And the all-time low here for the S&P 500 price to earnings ratio is 551%, which occurred during World War I, versus 10%.
10%, Maddie. That's insane. That means in about a month or so you double.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right.
10%. It takes you 10% of a year to double your money. 10% of a year.
Yeah. That's right. Just in yield.
Wow. That's in HEX terms.
Yeah, HEX terms. Yeah.
Wow.
It's over. Holy.
That's my favorite chart.
So that's why people like this HEX thing, huh?
Yeah.
So while you guys were talking, I took the liberty of throwing price on this bad boy.
Nice.
Whoa.
Man, Wells, man. Shit. This was like, oh my God, new favorite chart. Look at that channel. Beautiful.
Yeah, so it looks like it's just hugging this and riding it, right? So if this is going to take off based on this, then we'll see what happens. But something to look at.
Amazing. That's like a value proposition. You know, like when it's too expensive, when it's cool.
It's another version of it.
Traveling the channel, yeah. And the payout keeps going up. In average, just say, hey, you can come here. Come meet me.
Yeah, right.
That's insane.
Because I got all.
Imagine a whole like fucking 6 months of this thing, just they're both rich.
Yeah, right. And look at the fractal from last year. He crossed and he went up. So imagine we're run. Where is that? Is that what is it? 7,000? Was it the higher points? If he goes to the that's seven from where we are. That's a triple, right?
7x.
Yeah, 7x. Yeah, to the dollar. Yeah. It's telling you if it does the fractal.
Right.
That yellow line is that line's going to curve up. I mean, it almost looks
already
like it's starting to now.
It already is. It was at 3 before like a week ago.
It's like your bottom. It's like your 200 moving average in Bitcoin. It's like it will never go lower than that. I mean, I think, like my speculation. So it's like the bottom, but then the top one keeps saying, "Hey, let's run, let's run."
Yeah, look at what happened when it crossed over before.
Right.
Yeah, fractal, all going up and to the right, baby.
Wow.
I love you, man. Dang. This is awesome. Yo, screenshot. Somebody tweet this chart right now. Stop what you're doing.
Everybody, not just somebody. Everybody.
Yeah, everybody, like and retweet. The value proposition of HEX explained in one slide. All right, game over. Let's go home.
You guys are crazy.
It's a wrap.
Oh man, but it's a serious chart, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Fuck
it's
yeah.
giving you a lot of information, you know, a lot of important
This
information.
is chart porn right there for the traders, man.
For sure, man. For sure.
And the stakers, the long-term
stakers,
stakers.
yes.
And the
too.
stakers, for sure.
Oh shit.
I mean, most of my charts are with stakers in mind, first and foremost.
Yes.
So
You
it's
know.
called HEX payout metrics. Maybe you should change it to like staker vindication chart. or
Oh,
something.
yeah. I don't know. I forgot to change that. I just took some chart that I had there, man, and I fucking.
How about this?
Vindication
Everybody
chart.
gets paid chart.
Yeah, everybody gets paid chart.
Just hop on the bus. You gotta be on the bus. If you're not, then hey, you gotta.
Yeah, you're getting left behind. That's
you know
for
what
sure.
Richard
Yeah.
tweet all the time, and he says literally, "Hey, we're mooning. Join us. It's the truth.
Yeah, he does say that.
Welcome to the party.
Hey, your shit is red. Come join us. We'll make you moon. Come moon with us." Literally, it was a tweet like that. He said, "Come moon with us."
Yeah, isn't it so crazy that we're getting so excited about an investment platform that's just doing what an investment platform's supposed to do, but they just haven't for so long because of all the middleman and corruption and bullshit, and
This
money
is a
printing and
gangster
everything else.
chart.
Yes,
You
it's
know,
pretty awesome.
I'm gonna start crying.
We're here at the ground level.
Everybody gets paid.
Everybody.
Gang,
Fuck yeah.
gang.
How can you refute? This is mathematical fact. Literally, Wells just pull out the data. This is what has been happening. This is not a speculation. This is a fact from day one to where we are here. Everything's here.
This is
The
crazy,
average,
man.
the price, the payout, everything. One fucking chart. Game over.
It's crazy, man.
How you gonna tell me this is not bullshit? I dare you. Like the great. How dare you?
Yo, this is really crazy, right?
and you can verify the whole thing on the blockchain. That's
Yep.
another
Yeah.
first.
Well, that's
hasn't
it.
been
You're
around
retired,
before.
bro. You're retired. That's it. That's it. Podium.
You've peaked. You've peaked.
Top charts. That's it. Retired. Let's
No
go.
more chart. Just when you thought I couldn't squeeze
Yeah,
another one out,
exactly.
here
That's
goes
what
one,
we're doing.
right?
Marco is watching. He's gonna come at me about yo, every chart. He's probably watching already.
Whales
Yo,
only
every
charts are an emergent property of HEX.
That's it.
Yes.
Shit.
Well, it sure as hell seems like it sometimes. That's for sure. And let's just not remember, we're around here somewhere. We got a long way to go. Long way to go.
Are we there yet?
No, not even
People
close.
can't afford it, right?
Not even close.
We're not even close.
Oh, we got plenty of time. It's amazing.
Yo, so this is where the APY comes from in HEX, okay? It comes from the coin staked as a percentage of total supply. So let's check what the total supply is, or I'm sorry, the staking percentages as of right now.
Should be
It's
9 something.
9.543 is what we're getting.
Wow.
So
Ooh, nice.
yeah, that means we're above or we're right below 41%.
Mhm.
But with all the emergency end stakes, it knocked us all the way up to 62.5%, which is great.
Damn, we got 60.
Yeah.
I was
But
too
I
scared
mean-
to watch. I just like, nah. Just
You better believe that's just gonna drop back down tomorrow.
This is
And
the power of being staked, man. You see
Yeah,
all
look,
the games.
I got disappointing news. Graphics is already forecasting a 5.83 payout for T-shirt for tomorrow. So
No.
party's over, guys.
That's the number I use. Yeah,
There's still time.
that's
But
the
here's-
number I use.
Oh, that's true. Still got time.
I think it's
It's
gonna
early.
trend six some, maybe 7. Yeah, the 9 was a push. It was crazy. I mean, you
Yo,
saw the
look,
capitulation
I
rate.
enjoyed it. I didn't think it was gonna be 9.5. So
Yeah, dude, that was
It's
a
great.
severe whip, dude. Like
yo,
so many-
hold on. We got 0.4% of the total hex supply sacrifice. 0.411. That's crazy.
Yep.
That's
We're
crazy.
trending towards that 1%. That's the ultimate goal because if we get there,
Trending towards
math,
99%.
whew, the liquidity level is gonna be even.
A newcomer may ask the question, if this thing's so darn good, then how come only 9% of it's being staked? Well, there's a lot of answers for that, but here's
Yeah,
one.
it's personal decision mostly.
Yeah, but here's one, right? Positive feedback pumpamentals. So the faster the price goes up, the more newcomers don't want to stake because they want to make quick money. So
True.
the more the stakers make, so the more valuable the coin becomes because, the more valuable it becomes to get staked because you're getting paid more, which pushes the price up, which makes the newcomers want to stay liquid and not stake, which means the stakers get paid more. And you can see how that just positive feedback is just more on both sides. It just, the more greedy people get in the short term, the more money the stakers make in the long term. And Who knows? Maybe when they
It
figure it
depends.
out one day, 50%, 60% will be staked, and we'll still be getting better returns than any
Yeah,
bank.
but I think because of OA, I think it's just going to keep trending down for 2 days. Two deflationary force for the total payout, and we
Yeah.
talked about it before. So let's
There,
read that.
there are
Number-
mechanics in the background that will keep the staking
Yes. So
percentage
number
low.
one, the most
that's-
important one, because that is a mathematical fact and that will never change, is that the T-share rate will always go up. So look at it like the boogeyman. The boogeyman will always require more hex in order for you to get that T-share to enter the pool, which means mathematically it's going to become harder and harder to get that one T-share, which then will make it go deflationary because, like Future has said, as the price go up, some people want to take profit and sell and this and that. And since when that happened, movement, what's amazing about all those emergency end stake that came out is those T-shirts got burned. People keep forgetting. There was a massive amount of T-shirts that got burned, which means whoever did that and want to go back in, they're going to need a lot more hex to just get back the same amount of T-shirts. So either T-shirt goes deflationary, which is going to do over time, just no matter how fast it goes, or you got to bring back the hex plus more to get back the T-shirt that you lost. So that mechanics alone is going to make it go deflationary. Now, it's just a matter of if there's more newcomers coming in, then the newcomers will compensate for the deflationary effect, and then the total T-share will go up. But then as the newcomer comes in, the price goes up. And then the old people want to end stake. So it's a funny battle up and right. But then over time, because share rate keeps going up, we're going to hit a cliff where it's like, okay, a T-share is 6 figures. Now, who got 6 figures, right?
I always have such a good time streaming with you guys that I forget even things I promised the audience. I said that I would give people some time to make a slow decision about whether they're going to sacrifice more before the end of today, where it's the first day that the price of points have gone up by 5%, and then it'll go up another 5%.
You were right. So, somebody messaged me live when you said that, and then he sacrificed some. So
yeah. So there's 36 minutes left. Was there anything else, closing comments or closing charts we wanted to show off?
Nah, that's it, man. I'm good. Thank you.
That was the ultimate chart, dude. I can't wait to see that on Twitter. I'm gonna like and retweet it. That's great. He said it's 30. Yeah.
I already know this has been one of my favorite streams that I've done with you guys, so I wanted to shout out to you and thank you for joining.
Appreciate it,
thanks,
brother.
For the invite.
Man,
Glad
Hexicans,
we could make it happen.
be great. Love y'all.
And stake and sacrifice wisely, my friends.